Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to day 2 of the Archon Team League Championships, brought to you by G2A and Alpha Draft. My name is Frodan. Today I'll be joined by Reckful, who's coming in just a minute, and we can go ahead and introduce day number 2. For anybody who just missed yesterday, we kicked off the league with 2 great matches, all best of 11s that went pretty close to the distance. One of them did end up going to Game 11. Another one was pretty close, but in the end, Team Valuetown took down Cloud9. As you can currently look at the standings, we have Nylum and Valuetown grabbing their first wins, but we have 8 weeks of play. So even though some of your favorite teams might be down at the moment, in the end, we do have a lot of games to play. One thing that you also want to pay attention to is the fact that there's game win scores on top of wins and losses. That'll be known as a tiebreaker, and it's just simply how well they do in the series. Even if they go 0-1, if Team Archon keeps going 6-5 and manage to pull even with another team, they'll end up having the tiebreaker. The way the team league is broken down, we have 8 teams of 3 players each. Some of them are some of the most established teams, if you have in all of the industry, with Tempo Storm, Team Liquid. We have a lot of players from different good franchises like TSM, but they end up making their own team as well under Team Valuetown, as you can see in the upper right of your screen. The schedule today will be as follows. We have Team FORSENBOYS versus Tempo Storm to lead things off, and then we have Team Celestial versus Team Liquid. That's going to be a good time, as I think people are really anxious to see how the other all-star squad will do. Team FORSENBOYS is led by Forsen, but they have really good, strong players like Chalky and Ozkaka rounding out the roster. So I guess the Reckfuls, we're still going to be waiting for him to come in just a second here. But let's go ahead and explain how the team league will actually function. I believe the top 4 will be going to the finals. We're going to be playing a best-of-5 conquest format where each player brings 2 decks for a total of 6 per team. And each match is blind pick like normal conquest. So if, say, Kalento from Cloud9 plays one match, the next match anybody can play. It could be Kalento again or Strifecrow, win or lose. The locked decks cannot be picked again for those that win. So just like in normal conquest, as soon as you win with a deck, it's eliminated. The first team to get 6 wins will be the victor. And you can go ahead to teamarchon.com/league to find out all the rules as well as the standings. Speaking of which, we will have 2 teams that automatically advance to the live finale. We'll call that Phase 3. But before we do that, we have a couple of playoff rounds where teams can continue to stay alive in the tournament. The team that ends in 8th place, they're gone. They're eliminated. Unfortunately, they're going to have to try again some other time. But teams 6 and 7 will play through a redemption tournament where only one of them will go to the satellite phase and ultimately play for the top 2 spots to go for the live finale. That's going to be all for $250,000 the biggest prize pool in comparison to BlizzCon. In fact, I think no other tournaments will match that outside of WCA last year, which also hit around that range. And that's pretty much it for the opening homework. Our first match, like we said, was FORSENBOYS versus Tempo Storm. And it's pretty interesting to me because Tempo Storm is playing without their team captain, owner, and Salt Lord, Reynad. In fact, they have their new player, Eloise from China, who's going to be filling in there for the entire team league. And, of course, we have me and Reckful here. So the Tempo Storm bias will be pretty real. Just going to go ahead and warm everybody. But at the same time, we do recognize that there's a lot of fans for the FORSENBOYS as well. Not just for Forsen, but I know Chalky's also recently picked up some popularity for his casting. Not to mention that Ozkaka is also starting to get noticed. I've heard an interesting statistic a couple of weeks ago that according to Blizzard internal servers, if you measure the volume of games over the win percentage, or whatever way you want to do it mathematically, I'm not a pro. Ozkaka, according to Blizzard statistics, is the best ladder player in the world. I'm not exactly sure how to quantify that, if it's like any player that's played X amount of games, like 10,000 games or something. But he has the highest win percentage. So either he's played a lot of Hunter or he's really good. All right, so I believe Reckful might even be here. Are you there, man?
Yeah, can you hear me?
No? Wait, yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
What's up, dude?
Hey, sorry. I was AFK. I didn't guard you, though. Man. I didn't lay you for a whole game.
Duty calls. I heard you.
Yeah. Oh, you told them?
No, I didn't tell him anyway. I just said that you were AFK.
Yeah, duty called.
Yeah. Gotcha. So, what's up, dude? You haven't cast in a while. You feel up for a challenge?
Yeah. I haven't casted since the thing with Crip. I forgot what it's called even, the arena thing.
Yeah, the lower the arena. What have you been up to, Rifle?
Well, I'm playing Hearthstone a little bit. I got kind of bored at the beginning of the season last season.
Mm-hmm.
Just fighting Grim Patron over and over.
You weren't playing Grim Patron yourself, or were you? What were you playing?
No, just playing against Grim Patron over and over.
Gotcha.
And then, I went on a good win streak with like Echo on stream. And then I stopped playing for the rest of the season. But then other than that, I've been playing Final Fantasy VII. You know, some really exciting streams.
Wait, what? Why 7?
Because, you know, they're remaking it, so I wanted to play it for some reason.
Oh, okay.
I played it as a kid, so I wanted to play it again. And, you know, I killed the Emerald Weapon today. No big deal.
Nice.
Yeah. And that's it.
I didn't actually finish Final Fantasy VII myself.
Oh,
it was too frustrating. It's too frustrating. It was hard. I'm a casual noob. That's why I play Hearthstone.
Wow. what rank are you in Hearthstone?
Last season I finished at like rank 400 legend or something. I wasn't anything special.
Okay. That's not super casual, you know. It's like it says at the beginning of the screen. You know, when I turned my screen on, it said top 0.25%. It used to say top 0.5% after you get legend.
Yeah, there's more people playing Hearthstone now, though, so Legend's getting a smaller percentage. Even though in China, I heard that last season had 20,000 Legends.
Jesus.
That was like the new record of like how many people actually made it to Legend.
Yeah, and more people play in EU than NA, it seems like, too, right? Because EU Legend, well, other seasons I've looked, there are like 4,000 EU Legends, and we have like 2,000 or something.
Yeah, I think just in general, like Europe is just a little bit more competitive. Like North America is generally more casual, and also like that's the whole point of the region. It's like shorter attention span, so they can't like grind out to Legend as easily.
Sorry, I fixed it. Okay.
No worries. So we're trying to get the Rectful cam up. Until then, he's just a black floating space. Go ahead and once again. Once again, talking about the tournament format, just to remind anybody coming in, because we recognize that the stream is just starting up, is that we're going to only have 4 teams going to the live finale. And that's going to be offline, where we get the entire teams out there, which is pretty cool, because we haven't had that team dynamic in Hearthstone since the Fight Night days offline. People have offline moments where on camera where they're talking to teammates or playing against their own teammates one-on-one. But this is a team format at its core. Like, they work together to prepare strategies. You can't repeat decks. So somebody will have to play a less meta class than other people. We saw Shaman yesterday be able to take a win. We saw Paladin a couple times yesterday also. So even though, you might be like Rectful and be like, well, I'm kind of bored of watching Patron Warrior or watching, Zoo versus Hunters. There is a good diversity of stuff. Not to mention yesterday, Patron had a really awful win rate, Rectful. I think you'd be really happy to hear that.
Cool.
Yeah.
I actually, I was beating Patron as Freeze Mage. I didn't know Freeze Mage beats Patron, but you fatigue them.
Well, I mean, they can only do so much damage from the hand, and as long you don't really play minions, they have to play their own minions, and you just kill their board with Flame Strike, right?
Well, yeah. No, but you can't actually kill them ever because they execute your 2 minions that matter. But then, then you fatigue, and then they have like 30 armor from you have it to Flame Strike with Armor Smiths down.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes if they use Battle Rage, at least then they fatigue first and you win. But sometimes since they have 30 armor, that you die to fatigue first. It's really exciting stuff, fatigue games.
It can be, but generally speaking, I know you're being facetious. I don't really find fatigue games when I'm playing it. I don't find it that exciting. When people are watching it, it's pretty epic because sometimes you see like the 5 versus 6 damage. And yesterday I saw this cool post in the Tavern Brawl. I don't know if you've played it, but the Tavern Brawl is like the web spinners with class spells. And there's this one guy that had 2 Malorns versus another guy's Malorn, and they were both at fatigue, and one person was at 1 HP. So he kept killing Malorn so that he'd go back in the deck, so he never drew fatigue damage. And the other guy was a warrior, so he could never do like direct damage to him. It was really funny.
What?
Yeah, so we're about to get ready for the first match of the day. I believe it was FORSENBOYS versus Tempo Storm once again. And in order to do that, we just want to go ahead and introduce some of the players. So let's cue up this video and see what we have in store so you guys can get to know the players a little bit more.
I'm Forsen, and I'm playing for Team FORSENBOYS. I'm mostly known for my Miracle Rogue plays back in the days. Now I'm more of an aggressive player that plays a lot of aggro in tournaments. The format of the team league seems really good to me. You have to actually make use of the team components, like finding team members that are actually good with different kind of classes to be able to perform in one of these tournaments. I would advise younger Hearthstone players, if they want to become good at the game, to watch a lot of streams from those streamers who uses your kind of decks that you like to play, because you have to enjoy the decks you're playing, otherwise you will never get good at them. I want to thank all my fans for supporting me and my channel, and of course supporting Team FORSENBOYS in this tournament.
All right, well, you guys got to see Forsen a little bit more, but I'm pretty sure he's one of the most high-profile players out there, considering his stream is immensely popular, and he'll be captaining his own team squad. How do you think FORSENBOYS will do against Tempo Storm? Your boys, Reckful.
It could go either way. It doesn't. I don't believe at top Hearthstone level. I don't really believe its skills that different. Just like when these people are both good at making decks. Gara prides himself on being like the best deck builder ever, but he kind of sucks. We'll see.
He kind of sucks.
No.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah. I fire shots at him sometimes because he didn't show up for my one match when he was supposed to be with me.
Oh, right. Yeah, during that team league thing that Archon also held, right? Where you and Gara. I remember that play. Okay, the dude.
Don't talk about that. Don't talk about that.
What is that?
I didn't play Hearthstone in like 2 months.
For anyone who didn't know, we can go ahead and walk through the classes in just a second. But Gara and Reckful played this team match together in the Archon team league before this happened. It was a team brawl. And they were playing up against a Freeze Mage, and they were a Zoo deck. And they just had to pop the Ice Block, and the Freeze Mage was at 9 HP. So what he did was he played Doomguard, and then played Power Whelming on the Doomguard, and popped the Ice Block at 9 HP, which ended up costing the game because the Doomguard died, and then he ended up not being able to stabilize on the board. It was pretty epic. It was
tight. It was nice.
It was like it was actually impressive to find the optimal play to lose the game, because you guys were in such a.
It was almost impossible to lose. Yeah. The nice thing was though, we almost still won.
Yeah, you should have won because it was like 3-2 the series.
We got
right?
them to 1 health. And and we won all our other games. We won with my deck every time, the Mage deck.
Yeah, the really cool value Mage, right?
Yeah. With Karen.
That was sick. Yeah, I was really cool and impressed with some of the decks that you guys brought. But, well, alas, that's the past, and now Gara has new teammates, new and improved.
Ah, too bad.
We have Eloise from China, who's also bringing Warlock and Druid, and Forsen has Chaki and Osaka as his, quote, new teammates. Looks like they have the same lineup outside of Rogue and Mage. That seems to be the difference here. And we're going to kick it off with Chaki versus Paladin. Now, this is normally where we comment on the art. Do you think it's an accurate depiction?
That really looks like hype. That's crazy. I've known Hype since 2008, so we're old friends.
But
That's
Hype
him.
looks pretty old, like he's in a mafia.
Chalky
looks slightly Asian in this picture.
Yeah, Chalky one's not that good.
They got the Dignitas hoodie down though. The black and the yellow. It's interesting because in the past, so yesterday they had a bunch of characteristics to the players that would be iconic to them. So for example, they had they had Strifecrow with a bamboo stick. So at least they gave him some personality because he likes to call himself the panda. But there's nothing with this art at all. It's just two guys staring in love at each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice moment between guys.
A bromance over Hearthstone.
All
right, Paladin versus Warrior here. This aggro Paladin has been gaining a lot of popularity recently.
I hate this.
You hate this deck, or you hate this match?
Yeah. No, I hate the aggro Paladin.
Why do you hate it?
Well, sometimes they just king something and you can't do anything about it. And you're just dead. And even if they don't kings anything, you're just dead. And they Leroy and Smile. They actually run Leroy. Leroy's bad.
Yeah, they do, because Leroy turns out does damage to the face.
Yeah.
And the key to this deck in general is just the early game curve and doing well, but it has so many 1-drops. In fact, Chalky even runs Worgen Infiltrator. That's another 1-drop that maybe he replaced Archon Squire with, but the point is there's 8 1-drops or more, and so
No
you
way
never
replace
have.
Archon Squire. That's like the best one.
You always can play other stuff. Well, what else would you play? He doesn't replace Abusive Sergeant. That's too valuable, and you don't want to kill off the Leopard Notes.
Maybe he has less bigger drops. Yeah, some people run like one the Argent Protector or whatever, the guy that bubbles someone.
Yeah.
So maybe he cuts something like that.
Drop. Okay. So he just has more 1-drops. That's the answer.
Yeah, 1-drops are king, man.
Well, they are in this scenario if you can flood them. Hype is playing Control Warrior, by the way. No Patron Warrior.
So that's worse for him because he doesn't have Whirlwind. Probably.
He doesn't have anything to do until...
He really needs Whirl... Like, if he was a Patron Warrior, he could just press Whirlwind, he wins the game right here. And that's fun.
Yeah, but now that he doesn't, it almost doesn't matter at a certain point if you drop a bunch of taunters because he has so many things on the board to pick off good trades, and he also has True Silver Champion.
Yeah. So he's gonna coin Belcher into Belcher.
Yep. And depending on how the situation goes, most likely try to go for a board control play, like with Sylvanas, or if he's really low on health, he might have to go
Dude,
heal mid.
2 ha-has and... Oh my god. Oh, just 1 ha-ha this turn.
Yeah, you don't necessarily need to, because...
Yeah.
I mean, you don't necessarily even need to hero power there. You can just draw a lot of cards for next turn. Oh, jeez. This is starting to get really crazy damage-wise.
Yeah. Yeah, Hype's screwed.
Well, never say never. He could also randomly have a Whirlwind in the next draw. We don't know the decks in fully at all. Ooh, that ordering, though. If he was able to get Death a little earlier. So, with the True Silver coming out next turn and the Blessing of Might, that's 7 plus 3, 10, 12. No. Oh, hold on. How much is this? 5, 7, 10 damage by my count. I believe he can put him down to 1 HP. Or maybe I counted wrong. Am I bad at math, Reckful?
Nah.
Oh, yes, I am. It's exactly lethal.
Oh, you're bad at math.
Yeah.
But no, you're not bad at math. You're not bad at math.
Chalky's not bad at math, though. All right.
Anyway,
well,
if you didn't have lethal, you're just fucked anyway.
Yeah, there was
Next
really
turn,
nothing that you could
he
do.
Belchers again. He's still screwed through the Belcher. Even if he didn't draw the owl that turn, he just True Silver it.
Mm-hmm.
And Hype can't have time to put on Death's Bite and get the Whirlwind effect. So
Yeah, and I think that's a scenario which just goes to show you that this aggressive Paladin, like he said, is designed to really punish a lot of those slower decks, and just sometimes you can't do anything if you don't have the right cards. But it's just game 1 of the best of 11. There's plenty of more games. We've seen people go up to 3 games and just the score equalizes because you have a lot of time to, corner decks and figure out what's the weak points of the lineup. Because again, this is Conquest, so you're only as good as your worst deck that you play.
Yeah. I wonder which Warlock they brought.
On Forsen's side, I would have to imagine it's got to be the Zoo. But he also has been playing Handlock recently on stream, I think. I try not to tune in too much to Forsen's stream for my own brain cells' sake. But I do see him once in a while play the Handlock. He is known to play Zoo primarily. And I know Heloise really likes to play Handlock, but I also seen her play Zoo in tournaments. So it's kind of hard to say. One thing that I don't think we'll see is... on Tempo Storm's side is the Malygos Warlock, if I have to guess, because I don't know if they think very highly of that deck in general.
Yeah.
They were talking about how weak they think it was, even though it performed pretty well at DreamHack. Have you played that deck at all?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Sometimes you have several turns where you're not doing anything, though, and you're just clearing stuff. But, I mean, like any deck with Malygos in it, probably. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Probably a little bit.
There was like a Malygos Shaman deck where you Ancestrals call him out in one shot.
Yeah. That deck's awesome, man.
Yeah, I played that deck a lot. It's fun because somehow you never die because you're just dropping Mana Tides and all these things that they have to kill. Mm-hmm. And, the Vitality Totem and stuff.
Yeah.
And you just... I had games against Hunter that fatigued somehow with that deck. Vitality Totem is the best thing in the world against Hunter. It's crazy.
You're a liar.
No, really. Mm-hmm. It's the only time you ever fatigued versus Smork.
Well, there was actually this one game that Crypt played with Mill Rogue, where you play the gang ups on the cold lights, and he healed something absurd, like he healed up to 70 health, something like that, into the entire game because he put like gang up on the
ancient
bots.
Yeah.
And it went to fatigue, but the hunter beat him by like exact damage. It was like his last card, and he had exact damage to kill him.
Oh, I played that. It actually won, because I'm not casual with Crypt.
Okay. Snap.
But
this is what happens when Rifle's Unchained and not casting with Crypt. I like it.
Oh no, I'd say that casting with Crypt too. I see it. Oh, never mind. That's the past.
Yeah,
okay.
No worries. I don't think we'll see any of that. I think Shaman and Priest aren't even represented in today's lineups at all. In fact, we haven't seen Priest at all in the past 2 days. Maybe we'll see it next match. I feel like Team Celestial would be the team that might bring it. But why do you think Priest wouldn't even be included in a field this big? They do have some okay matchups against the field sometimes, like a couple of them. It's not like they'll lose against every class, right?
I haven't played that much Priest. But Priest is good against Hunter. I don't know how it does against Grim Patron. Druid beats Priest. Rogue beats Priest every time. But not a lot of people are playing Rogue either. I'm surprised. I'm not surprised Hyped has Rogue, but I guess Priest is that good. Oh my god! But it does beat Smorg. Priest beats Smorg.
It can, and it's also good against all kinds of Paladin too. All right. Well, looking at this, Forsen. What? They made Forsen like a 7-year-old boy. Eloise, of course, is just this cute cat, I guess. Yeah. Because she plays a bunch of cat music on her stream.
I haven't watched it yet. Is it good?
The cat music or the stream?
Both.
Yeah. I mean, it depends. I like watching players like Stripegro and Savit and Colento because I really like to learn. And she's fired. She's turning into like female Forsen in a way. I tell her, I was like, "Is this what you want?" And she's like, "I don't know. I don't even know what half the words that people are saying."
So you're saying you don't learn if you watch someone like Forsen?
No,
it's not an educational stream.
It reaffirms what I thought about the internet.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. We have Warlock versus Druid, by the way, and Druid off to looks like to be a really good start. Wild Growth into Keeper, which is probably the best thing ever.
Can you see the Warlock's hand?
Not yet. I'm about to. I would be surprised to see if it was handlock. Yeah, this makes sense. The Zoo seems to be iconic to what Forsen does. And the Keeper is a really nice card just against any kind of Warlock. Oh my gosh.
Wow. The Druid's hand is crazy. Druids need a crazy hand to beat Zoo, though.
Yeah, it's true. And even if you have a crazy hand, you might not win. So.
Yeah. Now, do you think he keepers, or do you think he wall growths?
I'm guessing you can afford to wild growth here.
Okay, he keeper.
I mean, you can also stop it, but at the same time, the keeper can also trade into this flame imp, and then you're playing a little off curve. I think either way is kind of fine, to be honest.
Yeah.
She also has swipe, so that's going to be really useful against some of these 1/1s that will come out, whether it's through Implosion or the Haunted Creeper.
So now I was thinking about Wrath versus Wild Growth. I think Wild Growth here.
Actually, I don't mind Wrath either, considering that the Keeper is like your only minion that you're playing. And then you're not playing Emperor Thorson next turn anyway, so you can Wild Growth plus Hero Power next turn. Yeah,
but there are there's so many 5s you can draw into in this kind of deck. Because you have probably Belcher, Druid of the Claw, whatever else.
Good point. Now, you would kill off this Haunted Creeper to play around things like Knife Juggler. Even though you put more power on the board, ultimately you take less damage potential out.
Put this apple on your head.
Oh man, Swipe's gonna be pretty sick.
Well, he'll trade if the knife hits, maybe. I think he should trade.
Yeah, definitely should
so now Swipe gets less sick. If that knife didn't hit, though, he would go face and get raped by Swipe. And it would full clear. Because Swipe Knife Juggler plus kill.
Yeah, and that would have almost been a runaway at that point, I think, if it didn't hit. Forsen's still even contemplating whether or not he can get away with not trading here and going face.
He's going to trade.
You sure about that?
Yeah, you just look at it, you're like, oh, the thing's even gonna live with 1 health if he has swipe, you know, when he kills your Voidwalker. There's no way. Okay, so you drew another wall, yeah.
Wildgrowth here is...
Sorry, I called her a he. It's a she. I'm so used to saying he.
No worries, me too. I did the same exact thing when I was casting other people in the past.
Yeah, Druid had a pretty crazy hand, and it's not looking too good. I mean, he gets Emperor next turn, but... She! Oh my god. Okay, she gets Emperor next turn, but it's not going to reduce any cards anyway.
Yeah, the second wild growth doesn't really do much, actually.
Yeah.
Just kind of sits there.
Would have been nice to have a keeper that turn or something. Another keeper that's lucky, but... You know, lucky
just
is important.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a bad card. But he has Mal'Ganis. It is a bad card still, though. Like, you will need it for Mal'Ganis, but that's not relevant for a long time.
Yeah, it's going to be an important card if it goes that long, but realistically, if she doesn't pick up anything else, she might just play it for the tempo board position. But Thorson being dropped on this board will almost certainly get traded away by Knife Juggler plus whatever juggle damage.
Yeah.
And after that, your hand's looking pretty weak.
There's going to be another Knife Juggler dropped in something. And she's pretty screwed.
Yeah, the other option is to go for Big Game Hunter and a swipe now, but the swipe doesn't do anything other than remove 1 minion.
Well, I'm saying she's pretty screwed, but actually if she runs Ancient of War, she's not screwed. She'll draw that next turn. But other than that, I can't think of a draw that gets her out of this next turn. Even having that swipe isn't going to do anything.
Maybe a second swipe.
Oh my god, and you can Knife Juggler and Abusive and just kill it.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of what Zoo does to Druid in a nutshell. This is just a really tough matchup in general.
Okay, so this... Just 1 knife needs to hit out of these 2 knives. And it hit. We overkill it by 1.
Yeah, that's a little unfortunate for Forsen, but he still got the juggles.
Nah.
Like
the important juggle was earlier. He got the important juggle. This little juggle doesn't matter. He's missing 1 damage to face, but earlier he would have gotten full cleared by swipe. And that swipe is just sitting in her hand now, doing nothing. You know?
Well, not completely nothing. If this goes into the
nothing,
Forsen,
but she's probably dead in 2 turns.
I'm trying to think of a series of draw. Maybe Azure Drake. If she picks up an Azure Drake off the swipe, be pretty.
Yeah,
nuts.
now that the swipe costs 3, Azure Drake swipe can happen, and it's pretty crazy. So Azure Drake would just leave a Voidwalker with 2 health, and if he trades, he didn't trade.
Yeah, he's just going full face.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, that's a good draw. Well, let's see. So I mean, she can swipe the 4/3. Hit the 2/4, and she has a 6 health taunt. It's okay.
Yeah, and then the Silk Tail taunt means that she
That draw was she had to draw 5 taunt here.
Yeah,
and she did.
It was like Belcher.
It had to be Belcher or Druid Claw, or she lost.
Or Drake. Yeah, it's basically like any 5-drop that was in the deck that wasn't like Harrison Jones if she's running it, or Lotheb if she's running it.
Yeah. So
there's a chance.
Yeah. Now her Druid of the Claw is going to die to Power Overwhelming on the Argus probably, and then the knife's going to finish off the Emperor.
Assuming
probably.
she draws some, assuming Forsen draws a minion, but he most likely will.
He will.
Oh, you're saying the Nut Juggler
You
would
not draw a minion. You could draw Implosion. You could draw another Power Overwhelming and Implosion. Tap into Implosion, I guess.
Yeah. Or you can just draw Doomguard and might win the game.
Implosion's a minion, so
yeah.
Where shall I strike?
no matter what, there's gonna be a minion played.
Most likely.
Unless he runs Dark Bomb or something.
Yeah.
That's a minion.
It's a minion, but it's not the
It's a
game
knife.
ending. Oh, 1 card off.
Okay, so
That would have almost would have been.
hit it in, and this is an important knife again.
Yeah, hitting the knife on the Emperor Thorson would be really big.
Hitting on the knife on Emperor Thorson's game.
Oh!
That's it.
Well, not necessarily game.
Oh, Belcher.
Not necessarily game.
Yep. Look, Belcher. Save the
Yeah.
day.
But But Forsen can just draw the owl. That's pretty much like how it happens from this point on. I wonder if Eloise is going to drop this big game hunter just so maybe she can pick up Savage Roar and threaten lethal if he taps too much. Because that'd be 4, 7, 13.
Yeah.
It's not
Even
really.
seeing the Mal'Ganis in hand, I still like it being dropped.
Mm-hmm.
You do too, right?
Yeah, I'm not against it. I know it's like really risky for Implosion to get an easy target and then you just lose the board even more.
Yeah, but she's just so far behind right now.
It definitely had to take some risks. Well, Forsen drew something pretty awkward here. The Void Terror is normally a pretty decent tempo play onto the board, but
It's
he
really
also-
with egg, but he drew it on a bad turn.
Oh
wow.
my goodness.
That's crazy.
Wow, Forsen is drawing so well right now. And well, he still has like the lethal very closely looming to end this game soon.
Okay.
Seven,
Not
six.
7-6.
Oh wait, now he has a big
Game
game hunter target. Oh, that's not really useful at all.
You know, and he might just discard his Mal'Ganis next turn. Probably not though. He might do it. She's probably
yeah.
dead. If he's not doing it, she's probably screwed too. Man, that Innervate draw though. She did
Yeah,
get
the
good
innervate.
draws last 2 turns, but this.
I've got the beast.
Yeah, those 5 drops that she picked up were really useful. Almost like matching. Whoa, she's gonna go down to the wire, go down to 1
If he runs
HP.
Bane of Doom, it could just hit face.
Oh, you're right. Bane of
And it
Doom.
summons a demon, just by the way. Oh,
Wow, this is getting increasingly awkward.
interesting. Wow.
Okay, so is Forsen worried about dying at all? If his opponent picks up Savage Roar, there's 5 plus 6, 7 would be 12. So no, he's still safe. Okay, that's a pretty decent
Okay.
draw.
Yeah.
My shield for
All
Archon.
right.
Ellie needs some help though. She needs to get.
It's a Taunt or a Keeper or something. Yeah. Oh, she does run Harrison. So she could have drawn that 5 here and lost. This is a. She got a good 5.
Yeah, and I think this draw means it's game over.
That's game. Yeah, it's game.
There's nothing that she can do here because the Harrison Jones means that.
That belongs.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean, she can't even stop on
Druid
board.
versus Zoo.
Huh?
I hate playing Druid versus Zoo. It's not fun. She
Yeah, it's-
like look at her hand at the beginning. We're like, oh, she has Wild Growth and Keeper and Innervate.
Yeah.
Still lost.
Your soul.
It wasn't even that close.
Suffer. Nature will rise.
All right, so the Doom Guard will wrap up the game, and FORSENBOYS off to a 2-0 start. Forsen with a little bit of BM here. Just playfully greeting her, and kind of showing his hand too. Like revealing that the Doom Guard, he even had Mal'Ganis.
Showed he has Mal'Ganis too.
Yeah. Doesn't really matter though, because Forsen's Warlock is out, and FORSENBOYS off to a really good start. And people were looking at FORSENBOYS and saying that they're probably a really strong dark horse that people necessarily aren't counting on to do really well, but they have a really solid lineup, in my opinion.
Yeah, though you can't judge anything. I'm not trying to defend Temple's Tower. I don't really care about like drama like that. You can't really judge anything by those 2 games because anyone could have played those 2 games and they'd go the same way. You know, they could switch places, and Forsen couldn't have done anything as a druid, so it doesn't. And also in the previous game, they could switch places, and the warrior obviously couldn't do anything. He was dead on turn 5.
Yeah.
And he only got to play 2 cards.
I mean, you can always argue about that's the nature of what happens when their matchups line up that way, but also they chose to bring decks like that. If Hype
Yeah,
chose
the
to bring,
deck. Yeah, what decks they chose to bring and all that was important. But in the actual games we just watched, and this isn't true in every game. Just those games we just watched, they could switch sides, and the same class would have won, and everyone we can agree, I'm sure.
sure, but the series is still
Definitely
far
on the
from over.
Pally versus Warrior. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree for that for sure. But at least in this case, the series is still far from over. It's best of 11, and there's still a chance where one player just doesn't win. Yesterday, we saw Klenta go 0-4 for his entire team. He couldn't grab a single win, even though Cloud9 seemed to be in a pretty good spot in terms of like how the lineups were looking. They had a pretty good lineup, and
Klenta went
we'll see. We'll
0-4.
see.
Whoa, what's going on? I didn't see
Yeah.
that. I was playing Final Fantasy VII. That's interesting.
What happened was Kalento he got benched actually at one point. There's a bench rule in this team league, Rekful, where if you lose 2 in a row, you're not allowed to queue up the same player again. We have to switch. So this is to prevent one player from like sitting there and playing 5 games in a row until they win. Type. Yep.
So are we having Gara now, or does it not?
It could be anybody.
Same player.
Chalky
Right. Now it
can
could be the
play.
same.
Forsen can play again. I would guess that Gara might come out here with Hunter or something like that. Oh, no. Eloise goes with Druid again, and this time it's up against Mage. And if it's against Tempo Mage, it's once again a really bad matchup for her.
If it's against Freeze Mage, though, Druids beat Freeze Mages up most of the time.
Pretty sure Forsen will play Tempo Mage, though. It seems to be right up his recent alley. Like, in terms of what Forsen does, he pretty much plays what he plays on stream. I rarely see Forsen nowadays play something that he kind of plays off stream for a while. He used to do that in the past, where he would build like really weird decks, like Ysera double Molten Druid. Like he'd play that kind of stuff. But nowadays, Forsen just kind of practices on stream with what he has.
Yeah.
I would guess it's Tempo Mage. But you're right. If it's Freeze Mage, on the other hand, then it'd be excellent. Forsen used to love bringing Freeze Mage all the time, like all the time.
Yeah, I've been playing Freeze Mage with Malagos. It's pretty fun. And it is Freeze Mage.
Oh, it is Freeze Mage. Good call.
Oh. Okay, so I've played a lot of Freeze Mage. Druid's really hard to beat. And
Yeah,
I beat the hard matchup sometimes. I beat Warriors occasionally. Control Warrior is the hardest one. Grim Patron Warrior you actually beat is Freeze Mage.
Mm-hmm.
And then Druid was for sure my worst. Freeze Mages really beat Warlocks though. That's what they're best. 100% win. I have a 100% win versus Warlocks on my Freeze Mage deck, like over 17 games against Warlock.
Yeah, primarily
kinds
the
of
zoo is where it's super favored against. Handlock can be difficult if they play Ragnaros, but generally speaking, you're
I
fairly
haven't seen Rag and Handlock recently. But yeah, if they play Rag, it gets hard. Otherwise, they can't really hit you with anything ever, and they just die.
So there's a few keys to this matchup, and it's primarily on the Druid side. Freeze Mage will just do whatever it can. It wants to draw cards and not take too much damage. But the keys for the Druid is the pressure that it can build up. Being able to even armor up with its hero power is really useful, because if they get the Alexstrasza down, then you're going to be at
17, 18.
Yeah, and that's still hard to reach through damage.
What do you think about that Alexstrasza nerf? That was a long time ago, but you used to remove armor. I don't know if you even played.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, what do you think? Do you think it should have been nerfed?
I think it should have been. That's just a little bit too crazy. There's only a few classes that are situational to it, but it's a little silly.
What do you think about armor? What do you think about Armor Smith? Like, what do you think about Warriors getting? You have Armor Smith down, they get Flame Strike or something, and they get all the armor.
What?
For that, you think that's fair? I'm just wondering. I don't know. I don't have a. I
think so.
You think it's fair?
I think it gives control players an option to really be defensive. If it wasn't there, Control Warrior would suck a lot more, especially
maybe
against
specifically when getting AOE, the Armor Smith should function differently and die first, just on AOE, because on AOE it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes did you ever see that video with Tides back in the day where he got 400 armor in one turn or something like that with Pyromancer?
No, I didn't see that.
He had Commanding Shout and he played Pyromancer and he just kept getting whirlwind effects the entire time because he had a million spells. It was crazy.
Yeah, and in normal games, Warriors actually get up to 40 armor. If they get double Armor Smith, then you have to AOE it. So
yeah. This is also pretty important that if Eloise gets this win, then Forsen hangs on to Freeze Mage, and there's also another class like Control Warrior out there for hyped. So, there's ways for there's really ways to corner a lineup if you really have something good and get some wins on it. Because the reason why it would be important is if you have a lot of other things that are good against Control Warrior, because say a lot of decks are running Harrison, you can try to get a win out easily. And then be able to leverage that, so that way you have a better lineup going into the rest of the series.
okay, so she wants to save her keeper for Doomsayer probably.
Yeah.
And then I'll be really surprised if Forsen wins this game, because first of all, Druid's really hard, and she has Lotheb. Lotheb's an important card.
Yeah, Lotheb's really strong, considering that sometimes you can kill the Druid if you get the Alexstrasza, the ice block is up, and you have the damage. With Emperor Thorson also coming into the metagame, that also improved the Freeze Mage against Druid win rates.
I don't know if it improved it, because the Druid getting the Emperor is a big deal too.
That's true, but
With the combo.
now you're not as restricted based off of like damage range.
Yeah,
Before in
yeah.
the
It
past,
probably improved it a little. It's a Emperor for Freeze Mage is amazing. It's amazing for Druid too, but I think I agree it's a little better for Druid. Or for Mage, sorry. Okay.
Okay. Well, that's
Oh
certainly
look, heal
used-
bot when you're at 22.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what he would like, assuming that he couldn't just deal with the Shredder. But the fact is, the Shredder still goes uncontested because this is a swipe, right? And then when you swipe, you just still take damage, and you're not any closer to like doing major draws with sorry, you're not getting close because you have to use your draws to get to Alexstrasza. Can you win this matchup without Alexstrasza?
With Malagos, you can.
That's true. Malagos Freeze Mage is awesome.
Yeah, that's really affected by Emperor. It's crazy. If you get
replace
Emperor down when you have
Pyroclasm.
Frostbolts and Ice Lances, you can just one-shot them.
Yeah, there it is. The Alexstrasza. One thing that's also important to note is that Forsen it's going first, so he'll have the mana to be able to present the threat before the combo. And then he can generate the damage. If he can generate the damage after he gets ahead of the combo, hypothetically on turn 9. Oh, wait, no, Eloise played the Wild Growth. Okay, my apologies. Never mind then. That's irrelevant.
Okay, now, let's see if she Lothebs.
Lotheb here feels really wasteful, considering that you can't... Like,
It's just that she doesn't have a good drop, so she might
what about Big Game Hunter?
It's not. Yeah.
I mean, do you really need to save it for Alex?
You don't really. Not really. No, but it does just die to a blizzard, you know.
Time waits for no one.
I think with her hand, I think I would Lotheb. Usually I save it, but if she had something else to play, like a Shredder or a Belcher or something, she's gonna save it. Okay.
I think it's fine. I think Lotheb
It's fine. It is fine either way.
it's the key to like make sure Freeze Mage can't use a backup win condition, which is like stalling out a little bit. It forced them to have the second Frost Nova or something. Or
Yeah, but it was. I mean, if
Ice
you look,
block.
it was really good pressure here because she can't Nova on turn 7 even with because Nova's 8.
yeah.
So right now
true.
she would do. Yeah. This BGH would actually get to.
I wonder.
Sorry. This Shredder would actually get to attack this turn, but maybe it's the Shredder's gonna get to attack this turn anyway because it looks like he doesn't want. It looks like he wants to Acolyte Ping or something.
Yeah, he wants to draw more cards like
Maybe he's gonna
Acolyte,
Acolyte Nova.
Nova. Okay.
Because if he Acolyte pings and does Loot Hoarder,
What to
then
He overdraws.
she can make him overdraw.
Overdrawing against Freeze Mage is not that great though. I think a lot of people get super excited because like, oh, he might burn Alexstrasza, but
Yeah.
I mean, you give them more cards, and that's what they want essentially.
Yeah.
Micro Machine. All right. Not really gonna do too much, I anticipate. Ooh, Ancient of Lore. So Ancient of Lore generally is a really key card to winning against the Freeze Mage.
Like you can save it forever after the Alexstrasza, like Ancient
Right.
Lore. But here
But
you
it-
should draw.
Yeah, here you definitely need to draw because your hand's weak. And she picks up the Force Nature Savage Lord.
Mind if I roll knee?
You know, I've had a lot of games against Druid where I'm dead here as a Freeze Mage.
Mm-hmm.
She had a pretty slow hand. She has 2 keepers and she had a BGH that she had to drop as a minion.
Mm-hmm.
So.
So the priority is to set up a Force of Nature Savage Roar kill, right?
Yeah. I mean, you could just YOLO Drake and innervate Lotheb here. You definitely start with Drake.
Yeah.
See I wonder what she's thinking about.
A Keeper of the Grove. So the Keeper of the Grove and Loth. Oh, Keeper of the Grove on her own Ancient of Lore.
Yeah, she's going YOLO. This is actually more YOLO than what we said. What I said.
Yeah, this is super YOLO. And there is a Frost Nova, so at least that's could be played.
That's why that Lotheb on 7 was kind of nice because Nova can't be played. Remember the Lotheb before when we were talking about it? Lotheb versus BGH. Okay. Well, he doesn't actually have the damage in hand to do.
Yeah. Like, this should be enough to pop the Ice Block twice over.
Yeah.
And he also, there's a swipe to do from the hand. Wait, are we missing something that Forcing can actually kill her and we're just not counting it correctly?
No, he can't kill her. If he draws Frostbolt, he can kill her.
Oh, that's right.
He needs to draw Frostbolt.
Or second Ice Block to stall.
Yeah. Forcing is just Savage Roar, OP. Look at
There's
that.
a couple of outs here for Forcing. Ice Block
Ice
number
Block.
2 is pretty good. And he can drop something else. He can drop oh no, he's gonna do
Emperor
one
or he
damage
can
off.
Antonitis.
Yeah, I was thinking Antonitis, but that means he only has 16 damage next turn.
Yeah, he still
And
can't kill her
then
next turn.
Eloise would hero power out of this.
Yeah.
I wonder.
It's possible that you Acolyte. Because you're just trying to get
The Frostbolt.
toward the Frostbolt.
Right, because if you get Frostbolt, then you have 6, 9, 17 damage. And your opponent
Yeah.
would be at 17.
Yeah, so I think you Nova. I mean, sorry, Nova doesn't matter. Yeah, you Ice Block, you Acolyte, and ping your own Acolyte. First,
Well, I guess you
Acolyte,
ping your own Acolyte first.
Yeah.
Emperor Thorson, does it even allow him to do anything? I don't think so.
It doesn't really change anything. I really think you Acolyte here. You might not Acolyte, but seems like the best.
Oh, okay, so he's just Fireball instead of pinging his Acolyte. Okay, that's fine too.
The Fireball there doesn't affect your mana next turn for being able to kill them.
Yeah.
I don't like that Fireball at all. It doesn't do anything. Because if you ping their face, you're removing that 1 armor. If you ping their face, you're actually doing more DPS. You know, if you really want to hurt them, you ping their face, the next turn you could, no matter what, you could Fireball with your cards you have. Even if you drew Fireball off the top, second Fireball, you could Fireball, Ice Lance is the most damage you could do. So, that Fireball there, I think that was just wrong. I don't see why you do
I
that.
think it's somewhat inconsequential, though, generally speaking. I'm also...
No, if you ping your own Acolyte, you're getting another card. Or if you
Yeah,
ping
that's
them,
true. It ends up not getting silenced, though.
what'd you say?
No. Yeah, it ends up getting... If it ends up getting silenced, you're right, or Wrath, or just like something killed off, but generally speaking, I think you're right. You know, a little small thing where Eloise didn't put it down to 1 HP, but she still has Swipe and Keeper in the hand. Or maybe even because to do that, it makes Forcing believe.
So he
that
might draw
that's
Frostbolt. See? You drew Fireball.
Oh, Fireball is it. That allows him to
Thank
kill
you.
her.
Well, hello. I'm
And
sorry.
he actually ends up
My
beating the
magic
Druid
will
player.
tear you apart.
Yeah, so see, if he pinged her face last... If he pinged the face last turn instead of Fireball face, you'd also kill, right?
Yeah,
So-
but he's got the lethal.
Yeah,
and
I know.
he's got
But
the-
I didn't...
is
I
that the
just... I'm
Forcing
trying to
Boys
think...
logo?
I'm just trying to think. Fireballing face last turn versus if you want to hurt the face, then you ping the face. And if you want to go for the draws, then you ping your Acolyte. But I don't think fireballing face has merit. Because there's no way you draw something that you can't use the next turn with the 2 draws. Because if you draw Frostbolt anyway, they're dead. If you draw Fireball, you can still play it. So, yeah.
So you just increase your chances to draw.
I think you just increase your chances to win if you either ping face, if you want to do damage to face. Because that's more damage. That'll be more damage.
Fair enough,
Or you
fair
ping
enough.
yourself. Yeah.
All right. Well, regardless of that, the outcome is speaks for itself. It's 3-0 up against Temple.
3-0, dude. Temple Storm's getting
3-0.
railed.
And
Maybe they need
Forsen's done for the day, so he can go back to doing whatever he usually does around
Dude,
now.
they need I think Temple Storm needs the commentators to come in and play.
Yeah, what's the worst thing that could happen there? We do the exact same result as they did at worst, right? It can't get any worse if we step in and play, right?
Nope. I mean, we they lost all of them, so.
Yeah.
But that was rough. You know, he could have not drawn Fireball or Frostbolt, and then she would win.
There are some decisions here and there that could have mattered. Like, for example, Eloise didn't go for Silence on the Acolyte, possibly saving it for Doomsayer. And then, you know, as a result, you could have done the same result of trying to draw on something. Like, if you Wrath for 1 and then try to draw after you Silence, it does the same thing, and then you get the
Yeah. But,
so, you know,
okay, the previous turn, Forsen had to get Ice Block or Fireball. No, Ice Block or Frostbolt, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
the Ice Block was a really big draw.
Ice Block or Frostbolt already lost, so he probably had 3 outs because he already used 1 Ice Block and he has 2 Frostbolts, right? He probably had 3 outs and, like, you know, maybe 16 cards left or something. Maybe 15 cards at least. So he has 20% chance to win or to continue in the game. Sorry, 20% chance to continue in the game, and then he has to hit Fireball or Frostbolt on the next turn, which is so he got really lucky. But the real luck was the first turn of getting the Ice Block. The second time of getting the Fireball or Frostbolt, he has Acolyte draw also, and he has more. So.
Or he could have. I think he could have also picked up a few other things too. Maybe, I don't know, like maybe Mad Scientist to help him out to pick up a nice block or something. He outside of his, he did have early game draws, but there's a couple of things that could have also improved his odds too. So not out of the realm of possibility, but that was a really tough matchup to win in general. Like that's something that we pegged, like Druid to win 65%, 70% of the time.
Druid will win that, maybe even more than 70% of the time.
More than 70% of the time.
It's really hard, man. To win as a freeze mage there, and he won. He won.
That's right. So it's 3-0 for FORSENBOYS. Meanwhile, we're going to see the first appearances from Osaka and Gara. Don't know what they're holding. Oh, Osaka's holding Cheesecake. Okay. And
is that Cheesecake on a stick? Where do you get Cheesecake on a stick?
Sweden, I guess. Also, the cheesecake in Sweden is not like the American cheesecake, man. It's they probably use much healthier ingredients for you, and it's not as good.
What do we use? Cream cheese? Doesn't everyone use cream cheese?
I don't know, but it was very like watery.
Have you ever baked a cheesecake?
No,
I haven't.
I just eat cheesecake. I don't bake.
Right?
Them.
Yeah. You know, it's. I think like 2 bars of cream cheese go into there.
Really?
Like, yeah, 2 full bars, I think.
In a regular cheesecake, like a New York.
One regular cheesecake. Yeah.
I don't know, but I just remember the texture was not what I anticipated, and it wasn't as sweet as I thought it should have been. It was very, bland.
Man,
I'm not hating on the European cheesecake. They probably love it, but America's cheesecake is better, just straight up.
Yeah. Shots fired.
That's right.
Okay, so we get to see Gara finally.
Hunter versus Warrior. Not necessarily really liking Hunter's chances here either.
Oh man. Okay, it depends though. If he runs high main,
that's right. But I feel like Gara would play Face Hunter. He always complains about how good Face Hunter is. So it wouldn't surprise me. Oh, Hunter's Mark. That heavily implies it's mid-range then. Maybe he's talking about in the context of ladder of how good Face Hunter is.
So, is the high main rule true against a warrior? Like, if you hit them one time with the high main of the face, do you win?
Not always, considering that they have one of the best ways to deal with high main because they have really cheap removal and they have Armor Smith to gain back.
No, but I said if you actually get to hit them in the face with the high main.
Yeah, it's not always true. I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But I would say generally it's pretty true because if you can, it's like saying.
Oh, he has Deathlord in his Hunter deck. This guy's crazy.
No, I saw this earlier this week. In the Vulcan League, I believe.
No, this guy's crazy.
No, I saw it. He's not the first to do it.
Okay.
He's
I
not
guess-
the first to do it. But Gar will
Against the
probably
Warrior,
say he's
it's actually so
the
bad
first
against
to
the
do it.
Warrior. It's crazy. Just gets executed.
Yeah, and then Ragnaros comes out.
Yeah, but it is Grim Patron Warrior, so I guess Ragnaros isn't coming out.
Okay.
But oh, it's even bad. Okay, it's really bad against Patron. You know, when they War Song Patron, you get 3 patrons off it.
Oh yeah, it's true. Two attack is so bad. What if you can buff it though with Glaive Zuka?
Come on.
But I don't even know.
So he's gonna set up Death Lord with Glaive Zuka?
I don't know. He has Death Lord in his deck. Anything is up for grabs at this point. Don't judge me.
Man. Okay, if Gara wins this, I'll be really impressed. So last match I said if Forsen wins, I'll be really impressed. Because it's really hard to win against thing. I'm not actually that impressed because, you know, it came down to getting the right draws at the right time, but yeah, let's say I'm impressed. I'm impressed by the RG. And now I probably sound like a Forsen hater. I just happen to be hating.
Yeah, but
You know, whoever wins, I like to hate on them because they always got good RNG, right? Pretty much. That's how Hearthstone works.
I guess that's one way to look at it. I would say both players have had luck, and then one player loses, unfortunately, in this series.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Sorry, anyone who's a Forsen boy in the chat. I'm not a Forsen hater at all. He's cool. I just, you know, if he lost, I'd be like, damn, she got lucky. You know, it's just like, just how it is.
No worries, man. You've already incurred the wrath of the FORSENBOYS, I think.
Oh, really? I haven't been reading the chat. I don't have it open. It's okay.
I'm not reading it either. We're on a delay, so it'll be a while before they hear this.
Now you told them we're on a delay. It makes it less exciting. We're only on like a 10-minute delay, I think.
It's actually pre-recorded, guys, the entire time.
Wow, this is like 8 years delayed.
Yeah, we recorded this in 2014. Blizzard gave us the expansion cards before you guys.
8 years ago was longer than 2014 was just last year, I think. But yeah, let's say that. Man, look at this Deathlord just owning, you know?
Yeah, well, it's sitting there doing stuff.
It's owning.
It took a Fiery War Axe charge like a boss.
So, do you owl? Do you Hunter's Mark?
I mean, owling draw is just so important, I think. Like, draw for a combo deck is the linchpin to success, I think.
Yeah. I like...
You also might...
If you owl, you're getting a beast down for Houndmaster. That's why I like it.
Oh, so he's playing for tempo.
Just YOLO Houndmaster.
Wow. This is something that Gara would probably want to talk about for a long time in our team chat.
I hate when he talks about something. I'm the only player. I'm the only player that would Houndmaster there. Like everyone else is so shit. Like
10 out of 10. No, that was really good. That was really good.
No, because he'd be like, you know, if you play Owl, then you know it's probably gonna die, so I won't get the Houndmaster because they're gonna use Whirlwind. And then,
But the thing is, you know, he doesn't really just say like, "Oh, I think that was the right play." He like goes on for maybe like 10 to 15 minutes about every other possible play and how no one really else would make that play. But most importantly, that it was the right play, and if he would play it again, he'd do the same exact thing.
Yeah. Oh, getting Leok there was a good play too.
Oh, look, now Deathlord not so bad against patrons. But let's be real too. This is a lot of damage. That Houndmaster.
No, getting Leok there was a good play too because it did 3 damage. Huffer would have done 4, so it did 1 less damage. But Leok doesn't die to the axe spinning and the whirlwind.
Yeah.
Combined.
This Deathlord is actually doing some pretty good work, by the way. We kind of joked about it, but it's done 7 damage so far.
Yeah.
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 And Astaka is going to need a little bit of help.
If that was Huffer, the warrior had an easy full clear. And since it's Leok, it's a little harder. And even if it was Misha, the warrior could melee it. But since Leok was by far the best one, usually that's not true. Weird.
Yeah.
Huh? Look, if that's a Misha, you melee it, everything's dead. If that's a Huffer, it's dead to Whirlwind.
Now you have to take a little bit more damage. Do you drop the Armor Smith here too? So like you Whirlwind first, and then Armor Smith, or you Armor Smith, then Whirlwind?
Yeah.
Gaining life's pretty important. Oh, we forget that the Deathlord also pulls a minion now.
Yeah, let's see what we get.
It'd be cool if it was Gromach or something.
You can melee and you get 2 armor.
Yep. And that means you're at 9.
Warriors looking good now.
Yeah.
On turn 6?
Well,
Pretty sure that's a good play.
yeah, it's pretty
Nice.
excellent. Considering that
That's so funny.
the best
He
play that
didn't even
Osaka has,
He did not react. Oh, another
Osaka?
Armor Smith though.
neither player react because they both. Okay, people might not know this, but Osaka also he's really a passionate player. Like, if he loses, he hates losing. He also like takes victories and defeats like really personal too. So he's a guy that like if he gets unlucky, he'll get pretty pissed. I think he really needs an execute here to deal with the high main.
You got it.
There we go.
And he could second Armor Smith.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
Now he's just gaining so much life.
Honor. Made
Oh,
to
hit
fit.
second Armor Smith. And then he can kill one of the
See,
dudes.
now there's a reaction from Gara. He's pissed.
And he gains
Now he
more.
points out the unstable goal for more.
Yeah. The guard
But,
has out on that and unleash, but it's not really that great. Maybe he has.
Second hunter's mark.
Hmm. It's gross.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what that second hunter's mark's going to do here. If you silence the unstable goal, you can get past and do damage, but the armor smith will start putting it out of range. So you want to like silence the armor smith.
Okay, so he's outlining the unstable goal because he started with unleash.
Mm-hmm.
He's hunters mark the armor smith and kill it.
Quickly.
Yeah, that's the best play.
Oh,
What the fuck? Was that just a misclick?
yeah, that was certainly. He meant to click face, right?
Oh, that's actually really annoying. He lost the dog and he gave the guy one armor for no reason.
Yeah, that was actually a really unfortunate misclick there from Gara.
Wait, maybe it wasn't a misclick because he ended up killing it, but maybe he just changed his mind fast. Maybe it just he went in the wrong order.
Yeah. Well, I mean, either way.
I
that
really
was
thought
just-
he went in the
that
wrong order.
was
It's
just
so
wrong.
natural to kill armor smiths first after you play a lot of Hearthstone that
Right.
I think it was a misclick.
Well, either way, this is still a really difficult spot.
Yep.
Kill command makes it a little easier to deal with, though. I would think. There still puts you within range.
Well, he's deciding if he wants to kill command face or kill command the Grim Patron.
Oh man, I don't really like either.
I wonder.
Just because you're still pretty far away. But
Yeah. You're relying on top decking what if you kill command face? Because you can't. You
second
need
kill-
quick shot pretty much.
Yeah, it is quick shot. If you
If
kill
you
command,
can't get
you
a
still play
beast
for-
and kill command next turn, your beasts are all gonna be dead.
Well, if you play freezing trap, you're gonna bounce back the unstable ghoul, right? And then the high main, or not the high main, the Grim Patron would start cleaning up the 2-1s. So you can hypothetically hold on to this kill command, but I still think it might be better to use it now.
Yeah, he's gonna use it. And he just used it on the patron. That unstable goal is just gonna AFK.
Yeah.
He's just gonna drop another patron, repeat scenario, and armor up. That's what I would do.
Do you think he wants to use Inner Rage here for Battle Rage?
Doesn't really matter. I don't think it matters too much what he does as long as he presses armor up. Grim Patron armor up looks good. The only top deck that could screw you over, that only top deck that the hunter has any chance of winning is a quick shot. Right? Because you top deck kill command doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I would think so. Because even like the second high main, there's no guarantee. No? He doesn't AFK with this.
I'm really
He's
surprised.
gonna
no.
replay it? Is he just gonna replay it? I think
Yeah,
so.
that's a way much worse turn than just AFK. But that's fine. You still, the hunter can't win pretty much.
Was he concerned about
Now,
Like the
quick
eagle
shot
hornbow?
into kill command is a win, but no, he didn't get it. Quick shot into kill command was exact lethal.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're right. Would have been 10 damage.
They gave him a tiny chance. There's such a small chance. If he runs quick shot, first of all, if he runs 2 quick shots, let's say, I don't know how many cards he has left, but it'd be 1 out of 15 to draw it exactly quick shot, and then 1 out of 14 to draw exactly the second kill command.
Yeah, well, 18.
Or quick shot again.
Sample on your head.
There's really low chance for that to
Yeah,
even
yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
The thing is,
It's 15 and 15 is 1 out of 225. It's about 15 draws left.
Osaka it actually hasn't been armoring up the past couple of turns either, so he's at lower life than I'm comfortable looking at personally. 8 HP is still really low, like for quick shot play. Just quick shot into bow, into hero.
Might not even run quick shot. Because you don't get to use your quick shots as often when you have high main in your deck. It's funny that some people don't run quick shot because it just shows how weird Hunter is. Because it's like just dark bomb and extra draw card sometimes. It seems like such a good card, but it still doesn't make the cut sometimes over some YOLO card.
Oh man, and if he quick shots, he might have to consider quick shotting the Frothing Berserker because he's just gonna die.
He lost. It's over.
I think Warrior can't kill him this turn, but then there is the chance of quick shot magic the next turn. Oh, okay. I think he's dead. No, there certainly almost dies, right? Because there's just way too much. You can push in like. Oh wait, no. He doesn't have
you can't
a mana.
get through the. You can't. Well, you can't get your Frothing hit face this turn.
You can if you draw something off the Acolyte. I was thinking if you could play the Dread Corsair for cheap, but you can't.
Again, it doesn't really matter what he does. Even quick shot top deck, you can't lose.
What if you're wrong? What if you're wrong and quick?
If I'm wrong, I will give everybody in the chat $5. That's gonna be a lot.
It's okay. Let me see how many people are in the chat first of all, because you're about to lose a lot of money if that's the case. I don't think you're ready to part ways with 200k bones. Oh man. All right. That's insane. It'd be the most magical comeback ever, don't you think? The quick shots.
Quick shot into what? Doesn't matter.
Quick shot into quick shot into bow into hero power.
Quick shot into quick shot could actually win. There's that tiny chance.
Yes.
Yeah, so quick shot into
There's
quick
a
shot
very-
into damage and
Quick
first
shot
of
into
all,
the
I think
quick
he
shot
doesn't
into-
even run quick shot. So then it has to be quick shot into damage.
Yeah. It was a remote possibility that Rekful was about to
So let's
pay
say
everybody $5.
yeah.
Very small chance.
Yeah. I
Dude,
think there's
4-0.
chances, man. I have
Four
lost.
FORSENBOYs.
I've taken some chances in my life. I've had a really bad day on the stock market before.
Yeah.
Life
We've had
happens.
ups and downs. I don't know if you've had a bad day in the stock market compared to the bad day Tempo Storm's having, though. This is pretty bad.
No, my day was pretty bad. So people in the chat might know about it. But I mean, I've had enough good days to make up for it. But it took like several good days to add up to that one bad day. It was a really bad day. But anyway, Tempo Storm's having a bad day.
Yeah. What if Tempo Storm doesn't win an entire game?
Well,
Then they can equally blame each other. They'd be like, well, I lost a few games. You lost a
Here's
few
the thing, I
games."
think. We should play for them.
Yeah, I think we need to call in a substitution at this point.
I mean, Gara's just bad. No, but you know what? If the other guy didn't draw execute for his high main, Gara was chilling. It seemed like. Because look how close it was already.
Yeah.
That's how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, this is where like panic starts to settle in. It's like, well, we knew we can take our time. It's a best of 11.
But I think
if
hype
we-
comes in with Rogue right now. Watch.
against Druid and Hunter.
Actually, those are really bad matchups.
Okay,
Like,
well,
it's
how about
Druid
this?
and
I
Hunter?
want to flip the scenario. What
You
if
play against Druid and Hunter because Warlock's good against Druid, but bad against Hunter probably. Maybe Warlock's not bad against Hunter. Warlock's pretty good. Every
Yeah,
Warlock's
fair
pretty good
enough.
against Druid and Hunter. Every Warlock's pretty good against Druid.
Yeah, Warlock would be okay too. It's reasonable, but I think the Hunter has the advantage for sure, especially because you know it's chalky. You'll probably play Face Hunter. If you know it's Face Hunter, can you beat it? Can you imagine though if you're up 5-0 and you just lose 6 straight for your team?
That'd be sweet.
Like that's like the only way. I think that's
Wait,
like
if you're losing over and over, does the same guy have to play that deck or no? You said someone else
Yeah.
plays the same deck?
Yeah. So say like Osaka wins the
Lose
Druid.
twice, someone else plays that deck for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. If you lose, you just keep playing, no matter what. I think if you're the last player, there's no bench rule.
Wait, if you're allowed? Wait. Really?
Yeah.
So someone can actually lose 6 in a row?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hypothetically speaking, that is pretty awesome.
That could be
But
the worst
it's,
day ever.
it'd be like the most demoralizing thing for Chalky or Osaka if that was the case. Like, say Chalky wins here and Osaka has to 6-0 Druid, but Druid just keeps losing over and over and over and over and over. Now that would be a series of the ages, I think. If it's like to go 0-6. No one's ever gotten 0-6 before, like consecutively. They've gotten 0-6 in groups, like maybe lose 0-3, 0-3.
Yeah.
Oh, something we forgot to mention before too was that the reason why Gara had to switch in there was that Eloise got benched for losing 2 in a row. And if Gara loses 2 in a row here, he's going to get benched. And if Hype loses, then maybe Reynad will bench everybody and put him, me, and Rekful in for the next tournament for the next series.
Versus Rexar.
That'll be the ultimate chase. All right, Hunter versus Hunter.
I wasn't watching. Did it start? Oh no, it didn't start.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's Hunter versus Hunter. Remember, Gara has the Death Lords. That's his choice here.
Okay.
Job's done.
And Jockey's got the Glaive Zuka, but he's got the Houndmaster, so
They're
maybe
both
it looks like he's
mid-range.
playing hybrid-ish.
Every Houndmaster deck has high main, right?
I would assume so. I'd be very surprised if Houndmaster was the most expensive card in his deck.
Yeah.
Because the reason why Houndmaster
I haven't
is so...
seen a Houndmaster deck without a high main, at least.
Yeah, it's so good against the with the high main and after high main when the hyena spawn.
This is kind of, I haven't seen mid-range versus mid-range Hunter almost ever. It's usually one Hunter's face, at least, right?
Yeah,
It's-
and I think it's become really interesting for sure.
Yeah.
Gar has a couple of choices here too. He could set up Death Lord. He could set up Animal Companion. He also could have set up like a 2-drop to line into it.
I didn't mind it.
Misha, I mean, Misha's not bad considering his opponent has bow and can answer whatever companion comes out.
Yeah.
Guess you just. What also really stinks is that you want to get a Houndmaster off, but you do have the Pilot Shredder next turn. If you didn't have the Pilot Shredder, then maybe it changed the play, but I think now you have to kill it off here.
Yeah. Pilot Shredder's looking good. Next turn.
Death Lord.
Nice.
Yeah. Now you get to, now he has to go through it because you can play Snake Trap.
Now Shredder and AFK. Well, even if he can play Snake Trap, the other guy picks up Unleash, that's fine. But
That's true.
he has not picked it up yet. Every time you Snake Trap, you get Unleashed, man. Every time.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate. It just feels like whenever you play Hunter cards, your opposing Hunter has the perfect counter to it.
Got Hunters. Nobody
The
likes
best
them.
counter to Hunter is Hunter, man. Let's see. Mad Scientist comes into the hand here. Maybe he wants to capitalize on the Snake Trap now. Snake Trap plus Haunted Creeper means a lot of tiny board presence. And the big priority for Gara is to set up a really strong board preemptively before high main. So that way he can combat it as best as he can.
Mm-hmm.
And if Chalky is aware of it, he knows that this should be explosive. or Snake Trap, because that would be the worst freezing trap in the world to set up. You'd rather Hero Power with the Mad Scientist.
Yeah.
Nonetheless,
He might even assume Snake. I mean, if you're looking at a Death Lord,
that's true.
if you're looking at a Death Lord and you know it's not freezing.
Yeah, that's a really good point. We did see Snipe the other day. Snipe also making an appearance here and there.
I wonder.
It's not bad against the Azure Drakes and the Grim Patrons.
Oh, question. Snipe doesn't hit Animal Companion, right?
No. It's only something that played like a minion from the hand.
I was just making sure.
Animal Companion's technically a spell, which is why...
Yeah,
you know,
it gets counterspelled.
What if this Deathlord pulls a high main, though? That'll be really bad for Gara.
I like the no fear of freezing trap at all, like you said. Attack Shredder first.
Yep.
And...
No.
Hold up. Worst thing ever.
Yeah, it's pretty average. Or like actually...
Is that actually the worst thing ever in a mid-range? What can it pull that's worse than that?
Worse than abusive?
It can't
I
pull
don't know.
something worse.
Web spinners? I guess at least that would have been pull out a card. Yeah, I guess it is probably the worst.
Yeah.
So now Gara has a couple of 2-drops here. I think he's looking to silence the Pilot Shredder and then maybe kill off Leok with the Mad Scientist. What does he get off the trap? If it's freezing trap, then the Abusive Sergeant ends up being an okay Deathlord thing. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
If it's explosive trap, Gara actually has a really good opportunity here to seize back the board pre-high main. We don't know what trap it is, though, so we'll go ahead and... Oh, it is freezing
Trap.
Oh, and the Abusive Sergeant ends up working out great.
Yeah,
Look at that.
Crazy series of events to make that a good Deathlord thing.
Like, normally it's supposed to be the worst outcome ever, but it ends up being probably the best outcome.
No, you get a high man, you just freeze your Shredder, and then you win.
Well, relative to the freezing trap being returned back to the hand. You don't want... I mean, the Shredder still stays on board and it's 4 damage.
Yeah,
right?
but the high man would stay on the board. That's better.
Okay, fine. So one of the best scenarios.
Yeah, one of the best, Sorry for nitpicking.
Yeah.
I actually hate nitpicking, people who nitpick.
Yeah.
I don't know why I did that. You were like, the best one. So I was like, let me shut him down for no reason.
No worries. I cast it with Crip. He does the same thing. So this is 12,
Oh, yeah, he
14,
really does that.
16. Yeah.
He nitpicks so hard you cannot use any words that are, best, worst,
Yeah.
ever. Gotta stay away from this.
Gotta be careful. That's why we love him.
Oh.
We got a good opportunity here for Chalky just to continue to press. And this is looking like, unless Gara picks Unleash the Hounds, this is looking like another victory for the Forsenboys. And I think
Unleash the Hounds is the only card that...
dream. The 6-0 dream is very close to being real.
Unleash the Hounds is the only card to get around that. If you had Unleash the Hounds,
he's locked.
You freeze one Hound, you drop it again, probably, and you could use it to kill the Owl and the Shredder.
Forsenboys are on a path to emote the most out of any team in the team league.
Oh my god, dude.
And they're 5-0. So, I mean, at least they're backing up their emotes. And, to be fair, they're also emoting when they guaranteed win. They're not emoting before the win's guaranteed. Because then that'd be embarrassing if, they emote a bunch. All right, so Osaka has to go for the 6-0 here. Everybody's won their games that they played on Forsenboys, and Gar's now benched, which means either Hyped or Eloise has to play. And now, if I were to guess, Eloise might just bring out the Warlock. Or Hyped can bring out the Rogue. And Osaka, which means Cheesecake, apparently he was holding a fork, not a stick.
So it's a fork with cheesecake on it?
Yeah. Or I think so.
Cheesecake on a stick sounded so much cooler.
It was. It sounds like a legitimate product that you could sell to kids in a truck. Cheesecake on a stick.
Can we just see the next game already? Wait, is this the only thing we're casting today?
No, we're casting this in one more match. There's a Celestial versus Team Liquid, which probably be closer than this match.
Who's Celestial?
But, I mean, don't give up hope. Maybe
Hype
the
6-0.
reverse sweep. Can you imagine
yeah.
the mental destruction that would happen if Osaka just lost 6 in a row?
You'd have to eat a lot of cheesecake to get over that.
He's not a college white student. Like, that's
Wait,
what we
so,
do in America.
Who's Celestial? Who's that?
Celestial is like Tiddler and Silent Storm, Frozen Ice, like really good
Chinese
players
people?
in Asia. Yeah, really good players in Asia. And Silent Storm also lives in Canada, but he's like a immigrant, I believe. His family immigrated to Canada, so he still primarily speaks like Chinese really well, and English isn't one of his strongest languages. So Silent Storm really is good at Chinese, so he talks to them there. And even though he lives in Canada, he's a really good representative, I think, for half Asia, half North America. In the meantime, we have Hype versus Osaka. This is potentially the last game of the series, guys. This was a lot quicker than I thought it would be. But I guess if you're looking at FORSENBOYS, a few of the fans were even tweeting saying, are FORSENBOYS even the favorites of the tournament? Forsen managed to get 2 really good teammates. And the best part is he didn't even have to get in the signed contracts under his team. They're just playing under the FORSENBOYS, borrowing the energy of the ace players from Root and Dignitas. Because those are the best players from other teams, from those teams, I think.
Oh, shots fired at everyone else on those teams.
No disrespect to, Green Sheep and Blackout and Era, those guys on those other teams.
Wow,
I
Era
would have to
sucks.
say that the best team.
You heard it here, Frodan. That's mean. Can I see this game already? Okay, I can see this game. Here we go.
Yeah. By the way, I think
Rogue.
Hype has to play because the other 2 players have been benched. This is
Okay,
out of
Rogue.
necessity.
Rogue versus Druid's pretty interesting. Would you say it favors the Druid a little bit?
I would actually say it's good for Rogue now that Druids have focused less against anti-spell tech. People used to play, Spectral Knights, remember? And that was Rogue could do nothing against that. Nowadays, I feel like Rogue is really well equipped because it's really good at seizing tempo from Druid. Really, really good with
He
preparation.
started with Coin and Backstab and 2 SI agents and Thalnos is pretty good too. But Coin with I guess Coin SI doesn't find a target against Druid though.
Not really, other than usually Shredders if you can do something really weak. Like if they have something weak pop out, the SI can clean up. But it's not looking like
Druid has a slow
really
hand
good
unless he draws Wild Growth next turn.
Okay.
Let's see what happens. Oh,
No.
he's not that skilled. You said this guy was good?
He's the best player on Root. Or, maybe even
I'm looking
Consequence.
right now. I'm looking right now. He doesn't have Wild Growth in his hand.
Yeah, he still has another turn to draw it.
Oh, okay.
Because if you think about it, if he drew it this turn, I mean, sure, he would have played it now, of course, but he wouldn't want to just play Keeper to the face, even though that's probably what he'd end up doing. So if he draws a Wild Growth next turn, he gets a 5
Well, actually, they
drop,
can play
it'll
better
work
in the
out
long
okay.
run.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, he missed it
Okay,
again?
well,
not
I'm
that
not so
good.
sure. I'm not so sure about this game, guys.
Wow.
He's given a lot of time to Rogue, but at the same time, Rogue needs those 4 drops. He needs the Pilot Shredders. He needs the
Teacher.
Teachers. He needs something because those 4 drops are the anchor for Rogue to do damage, and then make sure their spells have maximum potency.
So here you just drop an SI.
This guy's
Yep.
toast.
And it looks like it's going to get Wrath. The best draw would have been Wild Growth still, because you could Wrath and Wild Growth.
Mm-hmm. That's unfortunate for Osaka. Just 1 turn off from dropping Shade on curve.
Yeah. If he did Shade, I wonder if Hype would down those Flurry.
Oh, that would actually be something you could consider, but the danger of that is then you lose your Blade Flurry. And
Yeah, of course there's a danger to it, but I think
you
he
have
might...
oil in hand. It would definitely be like a hyped type play, though. It'd be like something that he would make that people normally be like, yeah, I'm not so sure. Maybe I'll just like.
Yeah, sometimes those
Like-
fancy plays are not what you want to do, but tempo's super important as a rogue, so this
For no one.
can be.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. I mean, this matchup is heavily dependent on tempo.
Dude, tempo storm. Wait, this is the one that tempo storm's gonna win.
You said
just
that in
checked.
such like a stoner voice.
Dude, tempo storm, bro. It's like you like bring the tempo, and it's like in a storm. Is he thinking about? He moused over oil. Maybe he's gonna coin a thing for oil. And
Coin
just,
nothing. Wouldn't you
and then
rather
just-
backstab for oil? Well, I guess, yeah.
I mean, it looks like you just if you backstab SI that thing, you're getting swiped.
Yeah. Now you can just down
Thalnos backstab and melee it and read dagger. You can Thalnos backstab, melee it, read dagger, or you could coin nothing oil. But that coin's pretty good for your sprint on turn 6. So
Yeah, I'd say so. You need to use this coin because there's a lot of important spells. Not to mention that, you know, if you use backstab now, you need a good activator for SI the next turn, so it gives you 6 mana to play with.
okay, so you did the Thalnos backstab, read dagger,
Yeah.
and now
Rogue's in a pretty okay spot.
probably gonna have Shredder. I mean, we're gonna have a Shade and Hero Power from the other dude. And then we might have
Shade is
Flurry.
so risky because of Fan of Knives.
Yep.
So
But you have nothing to drop, so maybe he swipes face, or maybe he wraths for 1. Wrath for 1, melee one of them, or you Shade and melee one of them.
I think you Shade and you Hero Power down the Thalnos. You have Swipe to pick up the SI7 agent as damage, like
yeah.
you know AOE damage, and I think the denying on the Fan of Knives is more important. Even though you do want to take out the thing that has more damage, so you can take less over time. I completely agree in normal circumstances.
Yeah,
but losing the Shade to a
killing
Fan
the Thalnos here is better, for sure. Even not knowing the guy's hand.
Now the question would be if he wraths.
He's doing the wrath for
For
1.
no one.
Yeah, his hand is really awkward still. Oh, we
Could
wraths
still
off the
Shade.
Okay.
Oh, so he didn't agree with you on the Thalnos being more important to kill.
Okay.
Now,
Cool.
you could melee face Flurry for 2 and drop SI on face, you know.
You could also oil. You could coin oil Flurry, but then you give up your coin. That would suck.
You don't actually want to use your Flurry if you're using your oil. I think. I mean, it's a lot of face damage, but you don't want to do that. I think.
It's 9 damage now, plus 4, 13. You put him at 16, and you have a 4/1. You've almost guaranteed forcing the hero power. He just used Wrath for 1 too. Actually, I'm not opposed to that play. I'm not opposed.
It's not terrible.
Because you still have Sap and SI7 agent for like more tempo if he tries to put a taunt in its way. Okay.
I didn't like it that much because I mean, the oil flurry is pretty crazy.
It is pretty crazy considering that Blade Flurry is like one of your keys to make sure you swing against Druid guaranteed. It's perfectly reasonable to hold on to these type of resources. Harrison Jones is a
plus
really
you would be
effective-
using your coin, and then your play next turn. Suddenly your go-to coin sprint, if you had nothing to do, is gone.
It's true.
So you're
That's also
sitting there
true.
with an SI and Sap.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Okay, so now prep. Okay, so he might start with prep sprint. Or here. Oh wow, he drew that.
Oh my gosh.
You could do deadly, prep, oil, flurry, or no, you don't have to prep, sorry. You just coin. Deadly, oil, coin, flurry. It's pretty good.
How much damage is that? It's 3 plus 12. So that's 15. Oh, nope.
You can
18.
go with a completely different route and just prep sprint. And then if you completely miss draws, you coin SI. You SI the Emperor probably and trade in your 3/3, or you SI the Shade and ignore the Emperor, but ignoring Emperor sucks.
Yeah, you don't want to ignore the Emperor at all.
So I think you can prep sprint, SI the Emperor, kill it with your heal buff. Or
Yeah, but then you leave the Shade. You can also deadly poison.
Okay, he's doing it.
Okay.
He's going in.
Going ham.
Yeah, he's going completely ham. But he's even doing the SA.
Yeah, going super aggressive, and he's got sprint next turn, right?
I like that yellow.
I like it. I just like being able to put Druid under a lot of pressure.
That's the first play we. That's the first play we thought about, and
you don't have to justify it. But well, this is awkward now. You gotta swipe, and you don't even have a Harrison Jones to like steal anything off of.
You can't do anything.
You can swipe.
He might swipe twice, or he might swipe Harrison. They're both really bad.
Yeah, I think swipe Harrison is like you're not gonna really need cards at this point, right? So isn't board presence really good?
Yeah.
But I guess the second swipe also means that your opponent doesn't have to generate 4 damage. If you swipe twice, he has to generate 8 damage.
He hasn't used an Abyss yet, so he might swipe twice.
Yeah.
Okay, now
Reasonable.
Hype just gets to sit here and sprint.
Yeah,
His opponent 8 health.
it's perfect.
Then, Shredder.
Nope, Shredder's better.
That used to be his deck name, I think.
Shredder is better.
Yeah.
Great minds think alike. I'm basically hyped.
Wow.
As good as him.
So,
Just because I thought of that name.
how do you win this game?
If you're the Druid player, you have to hope that the Shredder drops something relatively innocuous, or you can because you can heal right now with the.
The only way
Ancient War, right?
well, but you're saying you're killing it with either Force of Nature or Rag.
Oh,
It's
I thought you were
like that.
gonna heal. I thought you were gonna heal right now because you're just floundering.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I thought you were talking about killing the Shredder. So.
Oh, I'm
yeah.
saying like you needed to. Sorry, I was thinking 2 steps ahead. So you have to heal yourself, and then when you kill the Shredder, it has to have something relatively innocuous.
Yeah.
The
Maybe the play that wins this game when you're losing this hard is Rag. Rag kills Shredder. Or Dr. Boom. Yeah, he went with similar thing. If you Rag and it kills the Shredder and he gets something really shit. But
Well,
Rag's
he's
really
hoping-
bad at stat.
He's hoping that his opponent can't deal with it, and then he combos for the win. But that's really idealistic. Super idealistic. Okay. You can stab Dr. Boom and just push face, right?
Yeah.
And hit the face.
You sap it.
Sapping Dr. Boom is not
Doesn't feel that
usually-
good, but in this situation,
yeah.
it's fine. It's totally fine.
Would you bother taking out one of the 1/1 bombs, or would you just hit the face?
I think you kill one. They're really good with Savage Roar. He hasn't used one yet. Okay, hit the face. It's fine.
Yeah, hit the face is okay because he's gonna most likely want a hero power, and if
And
he
sprint
hero
into
powers-
Abyss kills.
yes.
But also,
Okay. Well,
you for sure are playing Savage Roar. Then you're gonna kill this. Try to kill the stuff,
What?
and then you're gonna heal yourself with Lore. I think.
does the trigger on the death rattle happens first onto the Shredder? So if the boombots collide into the Shredder, it'll happen so that it could kill off the minion first.
Okay, so you just comboed.
Yeah, 20 damage, but not enough. Just short. Works out pretty well.
I don't.
So we can kill it off. Now it's basically left up to Hype to generate a few points of
Yeah, he's
damage.
just gonna sprint and get Abyss. He's gonna draw 5 cards this turn. This draw. 4 more cards. He hasn't used 1 Abyss yet.
Yeah, there's a really high chance that he just picks up some type of lethal.
He still has a prep too, so
I think Eviscerate is actually
Oil's no
the
good though.
only
Prep
way.
Oil is 1 mana. He's 1 mana short to sprint Prep Oil.
Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, Sprint is the only... Like, Eviscerate's the only thing you could draw, so it's safer to actually... Man. Oh man, he took 7 damage from the from that. He hypothetically could die to a second combo. But we know that there is none. Osaka still needs a little bit of help here. Whoa. Well, he could either try to heal himself with the Ancient of Lore, or he can set up a taunt. But I think you first want to Wild Growth to see if you can improve your odds, right? Although I guess if you Wild Growth and you can't Hero Power, like say you might die to a few other things because you don't gain that 1 health.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can even Harrison Jones and then Druid of the Claw. Kind of does the same thing anyways. No, but then if you Harrison Jones and you draw into something you need to play like Wrath, then you can't use that and the Druid of the Claw. So
Yeah.
I think the...
Okay, let's see.
Okay, not helpful.
Okay, he can sprint into lethal really easily.
Yes.
It's even now that he didn't draw sprint.
Yes.
Even now that he did not draw this yet, he has about 50% chance to draw this.
Yes. He can have Sap. He can have Viscerate. Okay, Viscerate came out as the first option. And he did draw another option. So that's going to do it for Game 6. And Tempo Storm gets their first win. Okay, so Hype's all right, like looking okay.
Yeah,
we got 1 win on the board. Yeah, we're not completely blowing it here. But you have to kind of be worried because how much can they keep this up? That's 6 games that you have to hope Druid doesn't draw Wild Growth. It's going to happen.
Well, you could lose with Wild Growth though.
That's true.
I mean,
That
the
is
Druid could lose to Wild Growth, to Zoo with Wild Growth for sure. Could lose to like that face pally thing, for sure. We haven't seen the pally deck yet though. From Tempo Storm. I wonder what his chance to win actually was off the sprint. I think he started the turn with 14 cards left, and he was drawing 5 cards that turn, and 2 of them were sprint. What would you guess the chances? He could get a guy named
That sounds like an SAT problem. Above 0%.
That's right. Yeah, it is above 0%.
Thank you. Partial credit.
Pretty good.
That's how I got by in school. I argue with partial credit on every problem.
It's hard when it's 2. You can get 2 different cards.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he also could have picked up prep to help him too, right? Because
Yeah, you can get prep. You can get a lot of well, in that situation, you can get this. You can get sap. You can get prep with oil. Prep oil kills it because he had 10 mana. So
for example, he also picked up Deadly Poison and Blade Flurry. So what he could have done was, if he got prep in one of those combinations, he could have tagged with a dagger and the prep Blade Flurry or something. All right, so I think the Warlock will be coming out here for Eloise. I think Warlock's pretty good against Druid. I also assume that it's going to be...
Wait, it's not... Oh, it's not Hype playing?
Oh, no. Now that Hype won, Gara and Osaka can play. Although, actually, I wouldn't mind Gara bringing out the mid-range Hunter. I'm not sure how good...
I think you called Eloise Osaka.
No, I'm saying Eloise would bring out the Warlock here against the
Druid. I heard that.
But I would also think that maybe this Hunter would be okay against Druid because it does have high mains. It's got 2 Hunter's marks, so it can grab insane tempo. Like 2 Hunter's marks and 2 freezing traps against Druid. That's just so hard to come back from if you ever get a high main down successfully. The really hard core part is whether or not Hype can win Warrior versus Druid. And as you might have already seen the beginning of the show, but people might not know if they're coming in late, the score does matter in the series. So you want to maximize as many chances you can to win for this tiebreaker scores in case you don't.
Warlock first then.
Yeah, Warlock first.
Warlock's for sure the best against Druid.
Then Hunter. Then I'd probably go with Paladin if it's a mid-range Paladin. Then I'd go with Druid and then Warrior. That's probably the order I'd go in, but it could be whatever they decide.
Yeah, I like that order.
I'm not sure if Garab's playing aggressive Paladin though. He played that at DreamHack. So if it could be aggressive paladin, that could be a big difference maker.
If someone ends up being curious on the stats on that one turn with the Vis thing,
Oh god.
well,
Go into
just to draw a Vis, it's 60%. When you have 14 cards left and you're drawing 5 that turn, you have 2 Avises. So 60% is pretty good. But then you could also have gotten Sap. Then you could also get Prep, whatever. That's too hard to calculate.
Oh man, I thought you were gonna go like all beautiful mind on me. Like you're just gonna.
No, I can't go beautiful mind on you. I don't know. I haven't learned that. I've never taken stats or anything, but it's interesting.
All right.
I like it. I like it more ever since I started playing Hearthstone. I never cared for it before.
Cool.
Because it comes up all the time. Especially the one that comes up a lot. If you play Flame Waker, and everyone in the chat's probably like, no one cares. But if you're playing Flame Waker and like you have the opportunity to shoot like 5 missiles at something.
Yeah, you got to calculate those.
You don't. It's hard to know what the fuck percent. Oh, oops. It's hard to know what the percent.
What the full percentage is.
What the full percent is.
Yeah, that's what you meant to say.
Yeah, what I meant to say. Sorry.
What are you apologizing for? You didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry for saying full. I meant to say what the percent. Yeah. What the percent.
Well, I think we're probably middle switching players too. I'd be very surprised if Hype stayed on Warrior. It'd be like an ultimate white flag from Tempo Storm. So I think they're gonna eventually switch it up here. It looks like Warlock it is Warlock next, by the way. We got confirmation from the admins.
Cool. All right.
All right.
Between games, are you good at this talk between games thing?
Yeah.
I used to watch like Tasis and Artosis, and they're really good at it.
Well, they're really good at just talking about other stuff. So what Tasis would do here would just be like, "What kind of movies have you watched, Recful?" And then they just kind of like talk.
Oh, right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. But I want to take this opportunity to do some other stuff because we don't usually get many breaks in between the best of 11. It's usually just game.
Yeah.
We want to remind you guys to go to teamarchon.com/league. If you want to find out more about the standings and the rules, it's a little bit complicated for anybody who hasn't watched much Hearthstone, or even people who watch a lot of Hearthstone. It could be rather confusing. So you can check it out. We have a lot of chances for teams to qualify for the offline finals. And so you can find it out there. We also want to thank our sponsors at G2A and Alpha Draft. They're the ones helping making this possible. So big shout out to them. If you want to check out all the cool product, you can go ahead and look at the Twitch channel, which this is on. And then the last thing is that we're going to have another match of Team Liquid versus Team Celestial. Team Liquid has some of your favorite players like Sho and Savitz. And Nyria, and then Celestials, the newcomers onto the scene from the Asia region. So I'm looking forward to see if they'll do well. Maybe slightly better than how Tempo Storm's doing today, but to be quite fair, the Tempo Storm guys before this league started even admitted to themselves that they think that they're underdogs in this league.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Gara was saying, he says like, well, I think our team is like expected to finish 7th or 8th. And I think we're going to try to shatter those expectations. That's what he said. I'm not saying that that's what everyone else thinks, but that was kind of like they're painting themselves as the underdogs because they're playing without Reynad, and Reynad's contrary to what people might believe, according to his personality, that Reynad's actually a really solid player. So they're playing without their team captain and the president. So it looks like they're going to have to shape it up here. What do you think, Recful?
Yeah.
All right. You're contributing a lot to this cast. I love it, man.
Yeah, no problem. No, during the games, I'm talking a lot. I just don't have a lot to say outside. Like, I'm like, there's all this hype stuff. Like, oh, man, like, this team is really up and coming and, like, blah, blah, blah. And this guy's the best player on that team. And I don't care about any of that stuff.
Well, unfortunately, that's what people care about the most.
Oh, really?
Because the games themselves, if you don't attach names to it at all, then it kind of gets...
it's true, huh?
It gets less exciting, I think, for sure.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if you imagine if there's no... It's just like numbers. It's basically numbers on a screen that keeps going down and up without names or personalities or faces. And then that makes it a lot less exciting, in my opinion.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Well, let's hype this up.
I just did, and then I asked you what you thought, and you're like, okay.
I actually wasn't paying attention when you were talking, so then I couldn't respond. So then I just said it wasn't interesting. I was like trying to open the stream so I could read the chat because I haven't read the chat the whole time. And then you were like, "So what do you think?" And it's like when your teacher calls on you in class and you were like in space.
You're busy passing notes to a cute chick in
Cute
like,
grill,
sitting
yeah.
a couple rows down.
So,
Or boys don't want to discriminate. Kappa pride.
I guess the one thing maybe the Druid could have done differently last game is the turn he comboed. I don't know if anyone cares anymore. You remember the turn he comboed? He could have
Yeah, I played Ancient of Lore instead with
played Ancient Lore, heal himself, and try to have the boombots get decent RNG.
Yeah, but
I think you have to go for something like that.
do you want to bet on that RNG?
When you're that far behind, I think you have to. Maybe.
Well, we'll see.
Game starting.
Looks like Gar is just going to fill in here. I think Eloise had a couple of PC issues. So we're going with Druid versus Paladin. And I can't... Oh, okay, Druid's on the bottom. I was like, before... If you took away that Keeper of the Grove, I'd be like, well, I think Paladin's on the top here. But we did get confirmation of that.
Okay. I think
So Druid... What's up?
I'm gonna not try to go back and read the old chat because it gets too hard to commentate.
That's your first mistake.
Yeah.
Never
See,
read
now
the chat.
I'm gonna try not to be a rookie commentator.
Never read the chat.
I'm learning from you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not because you don't want to acknowledge chat, but because you get sucked in, you know?
Yeah, it's fun.
It's like, you know, don't give in to the street, whatever they're trying to ask you, like the cup games on the street. Like, don't even play one game, even though it's relatively innocent. Because that's how they suck you in. All right, so Paladin goes ahead, plays Ooze onto the board. Most likely going to evoke out this Wrath. No Wild Growth again for Oskaka. And this frees up Gar to play Knife Juggler here instead.
Knife Juggler is going to die to Coin Keeper.
Mm-hmm. But then he's got the Shredder to challenge the Keeper.
Put this apple on your head.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be really surprised if Gar ended up going for the on.
Wait, do we not have a Gara cam right now?
No. I think Gara wasn't anticipating that he'd have to play right now because I think Eloise was, according to the admins, was queued up to play.
Wait,
But, you know,
Gara-
in the interest of time.
What if it's Magic Amy playing?
Well, then the world would rejoice. Would they not? When they found out that Magic Amy is playing the games.
Okay, so we have Keeper, and just like we said,
Well, the Shredder.
we're gonna have a
comes out.
Shredder to contest it, just like you said.
Yeah, then we got Lothar.
Now the game's gonna start.
Oh, wait, he doesn't have 5 mana. He only has...
Yeah, now the game starts because you have to make decisions.
Yeah, I don't know about swiping this, considering that you're always careful about things
Muster
like
for
muster
battle.
for battle. The Shade is also asking to get punished by, like, Consecration could easily destroy you.
Yeah, but Consecrate's just
Although-
a 1-for-1 with the Shade.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, actually, Shade in that case is not too bad then. It's too bad Oskaka again missed that Wild Growth because he would have a
No,
lot.
it's not too bad because there's more. It's more hype this way. If it just ends 6-1, well, it's kind of funny, you know. But
Yeah.
for our
Well,
friend,
if they ended 0-6, it would have been really funny because
I want to see a game.
tempo 6.
I want to see a game 8 at least. You know.
Oh, we might. Swipe on the Shredder. And a ship's cannon comes out. Don't think
Oh.
there's any synergy with pirates there.
Okay, we have Pirates coming out soon.
Captain Greenskin and Paladin used to be something that people would tech in once in a while.
Yeah, man.
Those are good
That
days.
5-3 True Silver.
Yeah, it becomes Ashbringer.
That's great. Whoa, what does Ashbringer become?
I don't know. Ashbringer. Is there any weapon that even has 6 attack? I don't think so. No, it's only a Gore Howl.
Let me
Ashbringer becomes like a deadly poisoned, oiled,
Assassin's Blade or something like that.
just a deadly poisoned, oiled regular dagger that hits twice as many times. It's crazy.
How about an oiled Assassin's Blade? That's a 6/4 weapon.
Okay, that's easier.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm all for simplicity. Oskaka has a couple of 5 drops here to play. The Lotheb challenges the body much easier, but it's very easy for your opponent to just answer with the Outdoor Peacekeeper. The Druid of the Claw
is OP.
Yeah, against Druid, it's amazing. Such good tempo. What usually happens is that Paladin's able to gain tempo so effectively through cards like Minibot, Muster for Battle early on, Quartermaster, Peacekeeper, Equality, that Druid eventually runs out of resources or they play too slow to keep up with the Paladin's tempo. But that usually also requires Paladin to have really powerful swingy cards like True Silver Champion to answer the board plus develop. In this scenario, the Peacekeeper helps him gain tempo too by making this Druid the Claw relatively innocuous. Oh, didn't get the jungle on the Druid though. That'd been really good.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still attack into it just so you can get the damage in?
Yep. You're only taking 1 hit on your Belcher. Oh, you're asking if you still attack with the cannon also?
Yeah.
You're gonna attack with the cannon.
Yeah, he already used swipe, so you don't have to worry about it as much.
Even then, even with the chance of having swipe, you don't attack with the cannon.
Yeah, for sure. But it's worth asking just for conversational purposes.
Yeah.
This is where. Yeah. Okay. So now you can have an opportunity to fight the board for Sylvanas. Or you can go ahead and try to play the clearing game, which I don't know if I like as much.
I hate playing the clearing game.
Yeah. I like playing the threats.
I like playing the Sylvanas.
Yeah. The Lotheb will be really useful later on too.
Man.
Even though you don't use it this turn. You got a nice 6 to 8 too combination.
Yep.
Sylvanas into Ancient of Lore into Ragnaros.
Yep. Okay, so he's playing the clearing game. Maybe he's thinking I have a nice 6, 7, 8.
Oh. Juggle's going to face every time.
Okay, so he played the clearing game. I don't mind it actually, considering he has the best 7, other than Dr. Boom. But it's better than Dr. Boom because this guy is big game hunter right now. So it's the best 7, Ancient Allure.
Right. But you know,
The 8's gonna be bad though.
I mean, the Druid doesn't. It usually just struggles with being too slow compared to Paladin, but it's actually fighting at a pretty decent pace without losing too much health.
Yeah. Okay, so
Innervate gives him 9 mana, so he can use that. I mean, again, the Innervate gets weaker the longer you take to use it.
what's he gonna do with 9 mana? Only if he gets Wrath off the lore.
I guess Sylvanas Shade. Or even Lotheb Shade, because Lotheb shuts down the spells so that Shade can't get attacked.
You're playing lore, man.
Yeah, I'm just giving an alternative.
All right.
There's more than one line of play.
True. Sorry.
Ancient of Lore is generally the best though.
Okay, now for this, what do you think?
I like Peacekeeper and Lotheb a lot. Again, tempo is the name of the game here. You're clearly not going to out resource him. So if you play Lay on Hands, it's like, well, you're fighting a losing battle. They're just going to out card you, and then the Ragnaros won't have that much impact because you have big game hunter.
Man, this is tough.
Yeah, now it's the point where it's like, well, Ancient of Lore realistically might just be a heal tool because you don't need to draw more cards. You've got a lot of
the only thing that doesn't feel great about Sylvanas is you're floating that 2 mana, getting 1 armor for it.
Yeah.
And Rag, well, we know Rag's going to be answered by Big Game Hunter, but he doesn't know.
Well, Rag doesn't have too many bad targets to hit.
Yeah. He didn't instantly drop Rag, though, so he's thinking about something.
Mm-hmm.
Lotheb Shade is okay.
Yeah, Lotheb Shade would actually be his best.
Although
play,
they could still consecrate for 9 mana if they had it, and then trade in the 3/1.
Oh,
Maybe he's thinking that's
so
bad.
right. Yeah, you're so right. That's a really weak play if he knows he has consecration.
He hasn't used consecrate, so
Ancient Lord to draw again.
yeah.
Oh man.
He probably thought that consecrate thing through, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So now do you take a time to use lay on hands because you finally have breathing room?
Well, now you just saw the druid draw twice. You might be scared he has the second swipe.
Mhm.
Not want to muster. You already have a 3-4 and a 3-1.
Yeah, muster might even be better if you can get quartermaster off lay on hands and muster hero power quartermaster.
OP. How do you ever lose after you do that?
Hellfire. If you you mean against druid? Yeah, I don't know. Poison seed, starfall. That's
Oh
what
yeah, it
Tides
happens
used to
so
do.
often. It's crazy.
If
like
you're playing against tides that's
Every
not-
game.
every other game. Let's not exaggerate here.
All right, he's healing that Belcher up for 1. Look
Whoa.
Move quickly.
at that swag.
Yeah. Interesting as the Belcher too. It's like, he cares about that HP so that way it's not easy to remove. He gets a second lay on hands? Gar's playing a greedy paladin, jeez.
Yep. Now.
Alright, there's so many options here, but I think you just want to play the most threats with the
Sylvanas,
most mana.
Innervate, Druid of the Claw. Or Sylvanas, Innervate, Lotheb. I like Druid of the, I like the Sylvanas behind the Druid
Behind
of
the
the Claw.
taunt?
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing about the Lotheb is that he can easily manipulate it so that way Sylvanas doesn't have much impact. Like he can
Yeah.
suicide and steal like a 1-2, and
Yeah.
the Druid of Claw makes it a little awkward.
That's what I was thinking. 2.
Yeah, well, basically he has access to 11 mana this turn.
I think it's going to be the first thing we said. Sylvanas, Innervate.
Yeah. It's just because there's these meaty, mid-sized minions are just problematic to deal with.
Now.
No.
Oh, that owl. Skill.
That is sick. That's too sick.
Emperor, owl, hero power.
And just hold on to it. You won't die to a combo, will you?
Wait. No.
You'd have 7 plus 12, so 19. No, you wouldn't die. What about double combo? He drew so many cards. No, he just used Innervate. He used both of his Innervates, I believe, right? So... No, he's held on to that one Innervate for a long time.
Wait, you're also talking about dying through the Belcher.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just calculating how much damage he'd have.
Yeah, he can't die through.
If he had 2 Savage Roars.
Move quickly.
Belchers are OP versus combo.
Yeah, I'd say so. True Silver. He's gonna play just a hero power and then owl.
That's boring. I like the Emperor.
For duty.
That's fine though.
Well, no, we trade. Okay. That's. Oh, I think he's trying to bait out a swipe first. He really wants his opponent to swipe and then play muster for battle. I think his logic also could be that based off the combat math, Emperor would also be easily destroyed by swipe after the board, and this is the best way to deal with Sylvanas while developing True Silver Champion.
Wait, how is Emperor easily destroyed by swipe behind the Belcher?
No, because if you didn't have the True Silver Champion, then the Sylvanas would survive, right? Because he couldn't get through the Druid Claw. So then,
okay.
like, how does he kill the Druid Claw without suiciding both of his minions into the Druid Claw? He needed True Silver Champion to do it.
Well, yeah, both.
For no one.
Neither minion dies. The Druid Claw, and then your next turn. Next turn, your Belcher gets meleeed, and there's still an ooze. I guess, yeah. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, the swipe would have been an easy cleanup removal, I think, if he went for Art. Either way.
Well, yeah,
now-
he gets him to use the swipe, and he get the Emperor to go off. I think it's fine.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. It's definitely worth exploring. But this is another really big opportunity for Druid to start fighting back because it just struggles with dropping minions and removing, and it's starting to gain better options with a full hand and like that getting reduced by the Emperor.
Okay, so now we're gonna have the Emperor,
Yep, from Druid.
the hero power.
Yeah, also be okay with muster for battle, I think. But I think the Emperor might just hero power might be better. The thing is, they're both weak to the same thing.
Well, once
It's
again,
funny.
you have the slime, so you can't. Your Emperor doesn't die to swipe.
Must move quickly.
Slime OP.
Yeah, it would need to be swipe plus something else.
Man,
Wow, he's really trying to take this into the control stages here.
now the Emperor is going to reduce more cards, but
He gives like the initiative to the druid in a way by doing this.
yeah, I like just dropping it because even if the Druid somehow has if he has swipe plus wrath or something and he removes your Emperor.
There surely has to be like I think Garo just really wants to take this into the control stages of the game because he's really confident that his paladin can outlast druid. He might even have like 2 equalities then.
Yeah, I guess he's.
Because Lay on Hands number 2 is really clunky. Even if it's for 7 mana, you don't really get to play it. So, getting that mini bot was really good, but still he has equality consecration. He's got Emperor as like a reasonable threat.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, I would actually really guess that he's playing 2 equalities because he's got like Acolyted Pain. That's a really slow card for Paladin nowadays. They don't really need Acolyte because they're trying to just play tempo.
Now the Druid's turns are getting crazy, but this is when the Paladin has Ward Clear ready.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Lotheb's down to protect from that for this turn. But next turn he's probably going to get Equality Consecrated if he manages to have a big board. As Gara, if he plays at True Silver, he's getting Harrisoned. But he might be thinking to True Silver the Lotheb and finish it with the mini-bot, or True Silver the Shredder, and then Emperor.
Yeah, I think the finishing off the Lotheb makes more sense because it's better protected.
Putting less on the board. Right.
Yeah. It's guaranteed taking 5 damage off. Versus the Shredder might not change anything. Might like a 4/4 pops out from Millhouse Mana Storm and you're back in the same boat. Lotheb really does complicate stuff too. If you also
Man, it's roping. True Silver.
if you choose
play that
Silver-
Emperor already, man. If you played that Emperor last turn, I think it would have gone. It would just live.
2 full swipes, yeah. Patient Assassin.
Oh my god, that's what we were talking about, meleeing the thing versus the Lotheb versus the Shredder. Crazy things can happen.
Yeah.
I feel like the Druid's gonna top deck swipe right now. Not that he really needs swipe.
It's been a long time since
Wait.
he's gotten the second swipe,
Yeah.
right? It's about time. Well, Harrison.
So
can
if the
certainly
Druid
come
had
down.
Savage Roar there, he would have won.
Oh yeah, you're right. That would have been exact lethal. No, I would have had 1 overkill because he just does the hero power to the face.
That belongs in a
So Harrison Jones allows him to develop a really big board, but how greedy does he want to go? Because ultimately, you can't go too greedy because his opponent hasn't played Consecration Equality yet.
Yeah.
And you know about that possibility. I wonder if Gara actually has
all
really
his drops,
high-end
all his
late game.
remaining drops are bad right now. Because Rag.
Gara?
No,
you mean
the
Druid.
Druid. If the Druid does anything else this turn, it's bad.
Yeah.
he
He might
might
be
just-
really tempted to just kill and like with the patient
Assassin,
assassin
kill
on it,
the Emperor.
and then pass.
Yeah.
It's like enough on board to quality consecrate too. It's not wrong. Hit the face. All right.
Wow. Consecrate by itself only leaves the Lotheb.
But then you still die to a Force of Nature Savage Roar combo.
Yeah, exactly. Die.
Yeah, it's okay to part ways with the quality here. Gives him room to play Pilot Shredder and the Muster for Battle. But most likely he'll just hero power.
You might Pilot Shredder Acolyte.
Oh yeah, Acolyte might be much better here.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, now...
Well, you're not... How much are you worried about dying at all?
You've seen both True Silvers.
Mm-hmm.
But you've
And a
only seen
consecration.
one consecrate, so you could die to consecrate.
You don't want to use this keeper because you know you need it against Tyrion. But drawing cards off that Acolyte, like if you play Dr. Boom, he might get 2, maybe even 3 cards off that Acolyte.
It seems like the play he would go with is Dr. Boom, Keeper, Innervate, Hero Power. Or Dr. Boom.
That's like the best tempo play this turn.
Or Dr. Boom Shade, Innervate, Hero Power. So he went with the first one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh. Okay.
I don't like that.
So I think he's
I like it the other way.
calculating.
You silence the Acolyte, you melee the thing for 1, you don't... After you melee it, you don't die to Consecrate anymore because you got that 1 armor. So that Consecrate that he just top decked would not kill you, he'd be 1 off, right?
Mm-hmm. Well,
But,
we
oh
had
no,
also
Muster he would kill you with
for
the Light's
battle.
Justice.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
he's way ahead
He
of
would
you.
have died.
Man.
He would have died.
He would have died.
I still don't like it though, right? You like it the other way better?
I mean, that's because I'm a strictly inferior player to Oskaka. So yes, I do like that play you suggested. I think Gara would want to kill off. Oh, he's gonna play Muster first. Makes sense. More bodies for the boombots.
Yep. In a way, you want it to hit your Acolyte, but no, maybe you attack first.
Yeah. Yeah, he actually increased the chances of Acolyte getting hit, so you can draw 2 cards.
Okay, he doesn't want to risk it hitting the Shredder. But the other one could just hit the Shredder next turn, so I don't see the point.
Right.
Reporting for duty.
Okay. Hit the Acolyte!
No, just some of the 1-2s. Now that's the second. Ooh, Savage Roar coming a little bit too late. But that's the second keeper too, right? So now if he draws Tyrion, he's going to be able to ride it all the way home, hopefully. But
That doesn't matter
Oskaka,
since he's dead too, unless he has to force of nature clear stuff, and the Shredder has to give something small.
it's Doomsayer time, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
This is pretty unlucky for Oskaka to not get the second swipe this long. He's drawn through like pretty much his entire deck, right?
I think so.
No, Ooze is not going to do it. But it does keep him alive barely. And that's a second Force of Nature too, so there's no more full combos, just minions that can do Savage Roar.
I wonder... Gara can't draw 2 damage this turn, can he? Probably not.
No. Oh man, Pilot Sky Golem. That's 1 meaty card.
Oh, and I said 2 damage? I meant 4 damage because he already consecrated before.
There's really no way for him to stabilize at this point unless he draws.
Unless he draws...
Swipe, right? I guess Swipe is good. But even then, what comes out of the Pilot Shredder, or Pilot Sky Golem, excuse me, can still threaten
Yeah,
him.
and the problem is you have to... If you don't attack the Acolyte first, you're giving him an extra card. You just swipe.
Yeah.
But you want to swipe first to see if you can kill it with the... What's
That's
the worst
true.
4-drop? Do you know?
The worst 4-drop is like Pit Lord.
No,
It's like a 5/6.
Oh,
You mean the
the
weakest?
best. Yeah.
The weakest. The weakest would be like Mogashan Warden. It's like a 1/7. Nah, actually, Baron Rivendare might be better because it doesn't at least have taunt. Okay, so now you Savage Roar clear this, right?
Yeah.
And then
Melee the left guy with
Yeah.
the face.
I guess you don't want to play Big Game Hunter, but is there anything else you'd rather keep it for? I think you need the presence on the board.
Yeah. You do, because what are you saving for? If you save for Dr. Boom, you lost the game. If you drop the
Yeah.
Dr. Boom.
Yeah, exactly. Tyrion finally comes into the hand, but both these guys have had a slugfest, and that second
Tyrion-
equality there. Yeah.
Tyrion's pretty much checkmate. It is checkmate, I think.
Yeah, he already uses Harrison, right? There's no way.
Dude, too bad he's not Medivh, and then he could, like, say checkmate. Because when you concede...
Oh, is that what he says? That's pretty sick. Wow, 2 wins here for Temple Storm. 1 for Hype, 1 for Gara. And Oskaka,
Yeah, the
once
comeback.
again, not getting Wild Growth.
What if he goes 06?
Not
Wait,
getting
wait,
swipe.
it's time? It's time for Eloise, is that how you pronounce it?
Eloise. Alois? Really?
It's
I can understand
Eloise.
if you said like a Lois or something like that, because
I don't know, man. Look at that name. What's it?
That's
Just-
a regular
there are too
name.
many vowels in that name. I guess Gara's
There's
name is a lot of
4
vowels.
vowels.
Wow. Height doesn't fit in. He doesn't have enough vowels.
Yeah, he's got the weird Y going on like you.
Okay, so Eloise. Should play Warlock now.
Eloise. Jesus.
Eloise needs to play Warlock now.
Yeah. Like Lewis, right? But
Lewis.
Yeah.
E. Lewis.
Something like that.
Internet
like,
Lewis.
Electronic Lewis.
All right. Electronic Lewis coming out with the Warlock. Don't know what type of Warlock it is, but both
Yeah.
types, or even all 3 types, probably good against Druid.
Well, handlock is a little scary sometimes because of the combo threats, but I would assume that Eloise is bringing out the zoo here.
I must
All right, here we
protect
go.
the wild.
Wait, is it
Like
starting?
you wouldn't queue handlock into the druid, so this definitely has to be a zoo. We are starting, and we only have 1 POV at the moment. No wild growth again for Oskaka, but I don't even know if wild growth is more important compared to innervate. So that way, this hand could be really strong.
You don't think Handlock's good against Druid anymore?
I think it's a lot weaker. In the past, it was pretty strong, but now druids, I think, are well equipped to defeat it because it grabs the board tempo really well, and the combo threat just doesn't really matter if they put big taunt minions. They can just generally push through. And the worst part is druid floats you above like 15 to 16 health all the time, so molten giants are not even that relevant.
Yeah.
But I can understand where like
I mean, but if you're sometimes your first 2 drops, sometimes the Druid just can't answer your first drop. And
yeah, exactly. Like
Right.
Twilight Drake with no keeper and then just like trades like 3 for 1. They
Yeah.
just can't do anything. All right, so Eloise looks like she has a couple early game plays, but relatively slow.
Oh!
Wild growth.
Uh-oh.
This is the game. I think Force
No.
and Voice can end at 6-2
Oh,
here.
no.
But this is like
sorry.
not one of the great matchups to get a wild growth in because it just
But
means
Wild Growth with 2 keepers in hand is pretty crazy. And he'll have Coin Dr. Boom later.
yeah. It's true.
Keepers are one of your best cards.
But
against
they're
you.
still kind of awkward keepers in a way. It's like
Yeah, they're not amazing keepers. You're keeping this abusive, probably.
yeah.
Or you're silencing the...
Yeah, probably silence the Haunted Creeper, and then he Power Overwhelming's Void Terrors.
Oh, my God. Actually, E. Lewis could still win. Like we were saying before this whole series started, remember? You said the Druid's going to draw Wild Growth 1 out of 6 games, and I said Zoo could still be Druid with Wild Growth.
Yeah, you're even
Yeah.
mentioning it.
We said that.
Mm-hmm. You're
Okay, so
absolutely
E.
right.
Lewis is going to come out now. I think it's time for Power Overwhelm Void Terror. Party
What
time.
about Knife Juggler and Acidic Swamp Ooze, though?
Yeah, but you can go party right now.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
think you just party time right away.
Yeah, I don't mind going for a big power play immediately. It forces him to have the swipe, and you get to cash in on the 1/1s now.
Yep.
The Void Terror becomes it's big game hunter target no matter what you do.
Yeah. It's going to be an 8 and 5. If you use it on the... If you use it on the spider and hit the shredder, right?
Yeah, because it'll have 2 health remaining. Both are really viable plays.
8-5. No! No! Do the 8-5. No! Ah. That was not nearly as exciting.
Yeah, and I'm guessing she just wants to pull out the Void Terror, so that way it's just a 3/3. Oh man, okay, the swipe being pulled though, that could have been disastrous. I think, right? The Shredder could have most likely. Oh no, he had the Void Caller still. I don't know. It's close.
8-5.
I must safeguard them.
Or maybe she's trying to bait out the Keeper, so that way the Void Terror is even better. Is that also a possibility? I think so.
Yeah. But, I mean, you are giving them a little more time to get Big Game Hunter, which you know they run.
True. Very true.
And it's not like you really want them to silence your Void. Void Color is always good.
Knife Juggler here will be pretty strong. Like, if you play Knife Juggler,
Knife
Abusive...
Juggler abusive, and you would actually attack the Keeper. Fuck it. Oh, sorry. Screw it.
Put this apple on your head.
Yeah, forget about it.
Forget about it. You can attack either one. Oh, okay. We're definitely
Just,
Abusive
you know,
the
which do
spider
you
attack
hate
either
more?
one.
Do you hate centaurs more, or do you hate pandas?
Oh, she doesn't hit anyone.
Get in there and fight, maggot.
Okay. Very meticulously just trying to juggle at the optimal rate, but the swipe is still pretty effective.
Okay, so we have a swipe and a hero power. Oh.
Is that even better, maybe?
You clear out all the ones with 2 health, and then you still have your swipe for all these 1 health minions next turn. Maybe you have to swipe now, though. If you swipe now, you're only leaving 1 guy on the board with 1 health.
Yeah, that's true. It feels like swipe might be too good to pass up. But you also... yeah, you'd be playing around Defender of Argus, too, by swiping now. Yeah.
I mean, some YOLO artists might have coined Dr. Boom right there.
The artist formerly known as YOLO. Because they'd be dead.
It's the art of YOLOing. All right.
Well, I'm not going to read that book.
Okay, now. I think E. Lewis should just YOLO artist here.
Just
Knife
like
Juggler?
Power Overwhelming.
Power overwhelming your ooze, face, Void Terror, just the ooze though. Not super YOLO, Void Terror the Knife Juggler too, you know?
Yeah. I like that play.
Half YOLO. Here we go. Let's do it. Uses all your mana.
Wait, what's full YOLO? Oh, full YOLO's eating your own.
Full YOLO's when you do the troll. Oh, that's very little YOLO. That's 1/3
No, she's
YOLO.
playing around big game. She's making
1/3 YOLO?
Yeah,
Wow,
you know.
That's the force of nature though.
Oh, you're right.
I don't like that.
Force Nature's a clear.
You power overwhelming there, man.
She's playing around Big Game Hunter into like Wrath or Keeper to grow up. Either way, there's a lot of ways for Druid to answer if they had the perfect cards. So she decided to make it a little bit weaker. I don't like isolating this power overwhelming though in the hand.
Is the second keeper or the Big Game Hunter?
Yeah.
And then with the 4 health one, there are a lot of answers also. The second swipe worked to full clear. The keeper always worked anyway. I don't like
Okay, that fills out the curve.
Yeah, using all our mana. Okay.
My shield for
This power overwhelming is never going to do as well as hitting for 4 and buffing.
Yeah, you double dip on its damage. Is it time to boom? It might be, unless you want to Drake into Shade to get more targets out, but Dr. Boom also is pretty appealing.
I don't think you ever Drake in a Shade. I think you either Loatheb in a Shade.
Oh, Loatheb in the Shade. Yeah, that's also a possibility.
Or you boom.
Yeah, you don't need more cards. You're right.
Loatheb Shade, boom. I guess you could consider Shredder Keeper. But, you know, it's probably not.
Shredder Keeper feels like the weakest combination because
Yeah.
you put out the least stats and you have the least impact on the board.
I like Loatheb. I like Loatheb Shade. I like Boom. I don't know.
The Boom gives you more potential to fight back because you can guarantee clear off the first threat, and then you can use the Boom box to clear. Yeah, I like Dr. Boom.
If you boom, are you gonna coin hero power for 1 armor?
4, and if you had Power Overwhelming Doomguard, that's 13. No, it wouldn't matter. So you shouldn't. It doesn't really matter if you do that. Doomguard is lethal, by the way. Ah, well. Nerubian Egg is interesting. Because that might survive the boom bots, and then that's another power overwhelming target. I mean, this is starting to get pretty close.
You drop the egg. You drop the egg before you hit a boom bot. If you're gonna hit a boom bot with implosion, maybe she's implosioning Dr. Boom.
Yeah, I guess it has the higher impact if you implosion Dr. Boom and it hits for 4. Then comes this
He
case
could
where
eventually
Dr.
die,
Boom
but he
might
doesn't die to the void water
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Attack
Face.
first. Three, the average result
After
here.
you attack first, I
But
thought
still.
you were gonna hit a boom bot. With the Okay, so gets interesting now.
Terrible.
Do
Yeah.
okay.
Gotta
So what
silence
comes
that
off,
egg, right?
Drake? Do we have second swipe still?
We do have second swipe, but I think you'd rather work with the resources you have now.
Second swipe.
So
would
I think
actually
I'd rather
be kinda
kill off the
bad.
Void Caller.
Drake with swipe
Yeah,
would even
I-
pop the egg.
I think I'd kill the Void Caller with Dr. Boom and then silence the egg, so that way he doesn't pop anything. And then just trade the boom bots and then play Lotheb, cross your fingers. Oh no, you can play Lotheb and Shade. You have enough mana to do that. Oh, it hits face. It's not good.
I can't
Just
see the
minimize
screen
as
right
much
now.
as it- Yeah, I know. Spectator mode bug is trolling because of Druid. The Druid choice ends up blocking some of the screen because of spectator mode. All right, so Doomguard is still lethal, but there's also the point of concern where Eloise might just die to the backswing because there's 14 damage on board. Oh, Doomguard's not lethal.
Where's
Forgot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Would you look at that?
Well, does she tap? That's a question.
Let's
That power
see.
volume's just been. I want to point out the power volume just sat in the hand the whole time.
Yep.
And if it was used on the Void Terror,
Yep.
I'm not gonna find a better use for it.
Probably right. The Dr. Boom might not. It's not going to do anything either. Just the boom
Okay,
box
I wonder.
itself.
She's not tapping, so I wonder if she's thinking about does just Savage Roar kill her? 7, 9, 4, 2. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. There's really nothing she can do about a Savage Roar finish.
She might as well tap then, probably, right?
What about just like 4 damage, like Swipe or Druid the Claw? There's 14. She'd go to 19. Yeah, she died at just like a Swipe or Druid the Claw if she taps.
It's true.
Yeah, so she ends up passing. And Ancient of Lore still gives chance to draw into it.
Just swipe.
Mm-hmm.
Into Savage Roar, you win.
No, yeah, it has a chance to draw into Savage Roar. And if you don't, you just trade down the board.
And you could draw into the coin swipe.
Into the coin swipe, into the boom bots killing you. Can you imagine?
Yeah, man, it happens.
Swipe wouldn't be lethal either. It just gives him opportunity to
Yeah,
clear
it
the
just
board.
helps with the board.
Oh, he's going for the
Don't we
really
start-
safe route. He's probably going to heal
himself.
himself. Then. Yeah.
Okay, so Doomguard is still lethal. She hasn't played a Doomguard yet, right?
Nope.
Oh, Doomguard is one off, huh? Because it does 9?
No, because the boom bots would end up surviving. The boom bots end up dying because of the power overwhelming, right? She
Well,
has
it
a
has to hit
chance
face.
has to hit face.
Now
Oh
it's-
my god!
Direwolf into Doomguard is lethal, so we win. By we, I mean L.E. Lewis, which everyone was rooting for E. Lewis. So I could say we, I think.
Well, there it is. Dude, the Druid's down 0-3. Oh, she's so happy.
Oh, did you see the roar? She roared.
Yeah. Well, she's really happy because like.
Oh, look at
that.
that.
Doomguard was her last out. Like she
Well,
needs to win right.
it had to be 1 damage into Doomguard or the Boombot hitting face.
Oh, or it could be second power overwhelming actually. Second power overwhelming would have been fine.
Yeah, it had to be damage
Mm-hmm.
and Doomguard at the same turn. So
Oh. It's 5-3 now. It's still a long way though. They're only halfway through. It's been an hour since they've started this comeback train, but it's a pretty long road to go back 6-5. But I think it's starting to become like more of a
that
reality.
game stressed me out.
Yeah, that game was very.
I want the
stressful.
series to go to the end. I don't care who wins.
Yeah.
I think I want the series to go to. Oh, Scott. Osaka loses 5, and he wins the 6th one. When it's game 12 or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, I think it'd be really, really cool to see like Osaka get to 6-5 and then win too. I think that'd be really fun because then it's like, oh my gosh, he almost just broke down, but he managed to just barely eke out a win. But you pointed out, man, Druid with the wild growth, still not a guaranteed win, even though people exaggerate all the time.
Yeah.
Now against these three
Zoo-
classes,
Against Zoo as a Druid, you could lose with any hand.
yeah, it's true.
I think. Maybe not
Because-
if you have Dr. Boom on like turn 3 or whatever.
All right, Gara's going to queue up his Hunter. This mid-range Hunter seems to be a pretty strong choice against the Druid. It should hypothetically be able to win with a lot of tempo. The big question marks are Deathlord and, well, just Deathlord. I don't really know what else.
So Deathlord, and if you draw Hyman for turn 6.
Yeah, but
Druid can't answer Hyman. Even if you have a keeper, you can't kill it. Because it's your turn 6, you can keeper it, but you can't do 5 damage to it. Almost
what
ever.
gets increasingly more frustrating too is that Osaka's revealing more and more cards. So by now they know about cards like Ragnaros and they know about cards like Harrison Jones. So it becomes better to play around this Druid. The more it loses, the weaker it gets in a way.
Mm-hmm.
In Conquest, a deck's highest point of strength is in the first game it plays, and then just loses more and more.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's really unlikely that he wouldn't have a single bow with traps, but we didn't see a bow out of Gara yet, right?
No, we saw a bow. Remember he
The
yeah, we
person
saw
who bowed that Misha was the other guy.
Chalky, but he does have an eagle horn bow. There's no way.
Everyone has it, right?
There is people who cut one bow, surprisingly. I'm actually like pretty interested because I think the final game will be hyped versus Osaka if we get to that point. There are Druid mirrors too, and Osaka could easily just wild growth or innervate, and Eloise doesn't have it. But
I want Eloise to have 2 wild growths, and Osaka has nothing. He just gets run over because then we could see her do a little happy dance again.
oh my god! Get this guy a glass of water.
Me? All right, I got a
Yeah.
glass of water right here. We're good.
Thirsting too hard, bro. All right, Osaka gets the innervate. Wrath is also really useful against Hunter. Gar needs to continue the comeback train here. And you know what? I mean, at least if Tempo Storm loses here, they're still the exact same record as Cloud9, so
So is he gonna keep
they wouldn't be
Harrison
the
Jones?
worst. They're going to keep Harrison Jones? Maybe. I mean, the weapons are plentiful in this Hunter deck.
It is
Does
really
Skara
slow.
have Glaive Zuka?
I don't think he has Glaive Zuka. We saw he played a pretty long game. We didn't see Glaive Zuka.
Mm.
Oh, wild growth.
You know, the wild growth is pretty important for the Druid, but at the same time, it's like the tempo that the Hunter can gain is still really impactful because of things like Freezing Trap.
Yeah, I can't see Gar's hand yet. Okay, I see it. Oh, he runs tracking.
Yeah, tracking is really interesting too, just for the purpose of being able to find the card that you need. I remember like players were talking up tracking so much. They were saying like part of the reason why Hunter's so effective is because
And then
they
everyone
had
stopped running it.
Unleash- Yeah, they had Unleash the Hounds and they had tracking. And Unleash the Hounds would help them draw so many cards with Starving Buzzard. So it's like no matter what, they were able to draw most of their deck.
Buzzard Unleash was insane.
Yeah.
Uh,
You're living in the past, bro. Buzzard Unleash now is trash. It's garbage tier.
yeah,
Now
yo,
all you can
it
do with
got-
Buzzard
it-
Unleash.
It's crazy to think how many
Tavern
times
Ball,
Buzzard
dude.
Unleash got nerfed. If you go way back, Buzzard used to have 2 health, and it cost 2, and Unleash was 2 mana.
Yeah,
Unleash
yeah.
used to do something different way back, and then Unleash was 3 mana, and now Buzzard's 5 mana. It's unplayable.
Mm-hmm.
But when Buzzard
Yeah.
Unleash was 4 mana, you could have like 90% win rate queuing Hunter. You know, until you fought another Hunter, then you 50-50, but 90% against everything else, it was so OP.
You're actually triggering me really hard right now. I didn't want to think about that times, but
Oh, you didn't play Hunter back then? I was a scum. I played Hunter.
I didn't.
No,
I played everything but Hunter. I was one of those guys.
Oh.
That's actually how I learned Miracle, because I wanted to beat Hunter so bad that I learned how to play Miracle.
right.
Yeah.
I played Miracle, but I was also hunting. Because
Yeah, you had that one time where you sat down and laddered from like 25 to Legend, right? It was just Hunter.
yeah,
You
yeah,
did it in one sitting.
Yep.
And I was like, I don't even understand how you can live with yourself after that day.
Dude, you
sit
just
there
buzz with
ruining
Unleash, you just smile over and over.
Yeah,
Felt good
but
every time.
how do you like sleep at night? I don't know. It's kind of
I
weird.
don't feel like I'd feel worse playing Face Hunter. At least I wasn't playing a Face Hunter. You know, I'm sitting there dropping high mains and stuff.
Sure.
One thing I didn't like about this game, by the way, that we're watching, that we forgot we're commentating this game, right?
I think so.
I think we're commentating a game, so I don't like that he coined Mad Scientist on turn 1, because he had a 4-drop, so if he had Shredder in his hand. And it hurt me, because he could... Mad Scientist turn 2, coin Shredder, turn 3 is really strong. But it's okay.
it is really powerful, like you said, but more than anything else, I think hunters hate wasting mana. That's like a really good
He had
mark.
tracking turn 1. He actually had something to do. It's not the worst
Tracking
thing.
gets much better as the game progresses.
Yeah,
though, because-
tracking's nice when you need something at the moment, but at least he had something to do. If you have tracking turn 1 and you have nothing to do, you do play it.
This is a slight placement error. You generally want to play the Pilot Shredder in the middle, but probably won't matter considering that Osaka will kill everything but the Shredder first. He'd rather kill the Knife Juggler.
Oh, yeah, because you get like Direwolf.
Yeah, Direwolf or Flametongue Totem. Those, it doesn't happen very frequently, but I've seen it on occasion once in a while where it actually does matter. Osaka, by the way, does know that this could be Freezing Trap or it could be Snake Trap, and that's where the mix-up is really difficult to handle. If you guess
Wow,
it
this
correct.
swipe top deck is really powerful with spell power, though.
Oh, you're right. He's got the Agidrake sitting out there. And if
The one awkward thing, oh no, he knows he runs 2 different traps, so he doesn't care to try to kill the scientist
Right.
before. Let's see what it is.
Okay, about average result.
So he has 2 traps up now. We just can't see it, I think, right?
Yeah, and this one's about to be Freezing Trap, and he knows that Snake's the other one. So now you can hit face here. And Wrath this.
Okay. Oh!
Oh,
He runs
wait.
3 traps!
Oh!
This guy's deck is crazy!
That is a plot twist.
Alright. So Gara, I think we're looking at a quick shot on that thing. Oh, no, we're still looking at a quick shot on that thing and a tracking and a hero power.
Yeah.
And then
do with the
do you want to set up for our empty board high main is like the strongest thing. Here, what do you take? Animal Companion, Houndmaster is a good turn 7. So you can take that.
I wonder if Gara thinks Bo might be better.
I wonder.
I take
You already-
Animal Companion.
You might take Animal Companion, you think?
I take Animal Companion all day here.
Okay. Animal Companion does have a lot of versatility. Also because...
Okay, if you look at the bow, he just used 2 traps already, and he has the scientist he's throwing away. So
Yeah.
it's like it's gonna be an expensive fire war axe. And if you take the bow, you probably want to play it this turn. Oh, he took scientist.
Yeah, Scientist for the curve. So the Eagle Horn Bow, I thought he can even keep Quick Shot and utilize it later, and then use the bow now. The Animal Companion gives him a turn 7 play, because then he has high main into Houndmaster and Animal Companion, and Lothep can lock out whatever he wants.
Yeah, I liked it. I don't mind this either. I just don't like the bow.
Well, now because...
But because he actually has he can actually clear the high main, which almost never happens. You have to have a 5/5 on the board when they drop a high main.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
This might be game. Unless his opponent... No, Gar's got Sludge Belchers and Lothar, never mind. But there's just 2 combos. That's like, you can do back-to-back turns, and then you know explosive traps out of the way,
Yeah.
and the only thing remaining is a free is a
The
snake
Belcher
trap.
will be nice though. Belcher versus combo OP.
Yeah, so you can set up the Keeper of the Grove now, and then kill it off.
It's a bit of an awkward. Okay, you keeper for sure. You're keepering and killing that guy, but then you just hero power. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
What is? I guess you do it.
Tossing
But
a wild growth.
what else are you gonna do? You do that. I think.
Waits for no one.
If he had a shredder right now, his turn would be so amazing and simple.
Azure Drake.
Okay,
So he's going for the win. He's going for the combo clear.
it's good. It's not bad.
13, 15. Ah, he's 2 damage off lethal.
Yeah. If he could
He had
kill
enough
command,
mana.
if he could drop Lotheb. 1 second. So he drops Lotheb. The other guy could still Savage Roar. That only does 13, so he can't die. Let's Lotheb down. Oh, yeah. I mean, or he could Belcher, or he could Houndmaster his high main, but it's even weaker to keeper. But he can Houndmaster his high main, just hit face, and kill command of the 5/5. I think Lotheb seems the best. And he knows he can't die to Savage Roar because it does, what did we say it does?
17.
15 or something?
17. Right?
I think it does 15. 7, 6, 13, 15.
Oh, 15. You're right.
So...
Counting's hard.
Lotheb OP?
Yeah, Lotheb here really locked it up, unfortunately.
Like, Lotheb made the going face so much weaker.
What to do?
Because now what does he do? Now it's too late to keeper that high man and kill it. He lost.
You're right. There's really actually nothing he can do here. He needed to have like a second swipe drawn off the top, right? That was like his only out.
No, I mean, he swiped for 9 mana. What does he do with that?
Well, at least he helped him control the state of the board a little bit.
Swipe for 9 mana, he still lost this turn.
I
Guess he
must
can't keep her.
safeguard the
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Well,
No,
Lotheb
if he had swipe for 9 mana, he'd suicide into high main and then swipe 5 2/2s across everything.
Oh, right. You're right.
I mean, either way, we
You're right,
know
you're right.
that it would have been still really hard to win because you survive, but do you win? And that's the ultimate question there. That's 4 in a row for Tempo Storm. Osaka. Also, something to note too is
Man, see how he
fatigue.
drew 2 shredders? If he had one of those shredders the previous turn,
Yeah.
if he had one of the shredders the previous turn, I guarantee you, and obviously, he would have keepered the high main, killed it, drop a shredder, and then he wins the game from there.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah. But Lotheb OP.
Yeah. So there's a chance. There's a hope. And it's growing. Gar is also done for the day, by the way. His job has been accomplished. He did lose game, I believe. But, he lost 2 games.
So now we go for the Druid mirror. We go for the skill mirror. So, who do
The
you?
Druid Mirror is probably the most coin flipping matchup I think that we will see today.
Let's think. Who's gonna draw it?
And then if it ends up going Tempo Storm's way, we're gonna have 5 games in a row for FORSENBOYS, followed by 5 games in a row for Tempo Storm, into the hardest matchup that we'll probably see today. If there's any matchup worse than Freeze Mage versus Druid that we saw, it has to be Druid versus Warrior. So, like, Tempo Storm's playing for tiebreakers in their mind, because I think they really don't think they can take out Control Warrior against the Druid.
I think Druids actually kill Freeze Mages harder than they kill Warriors.
You think so? I'm willing to say
I played
Druid
all
versus-
those things quite a bit. Yeah, it's pretty close, I guess.
I would actually not even put it that close. I would say like Druid versus Warrior is just so awful for the Control Warrior.
Well, if the Druid if the Druid actually has a slow start, you can win.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, maybe you're probably right. It's
Control Warrior. I mean, you feel he has a slow start, then you start Shield Maiden, Shield Slamming stuff on turn 7. One-shotting Ancient Allures while you drop a 5/5.
Nature
Feels
will
good. You're
probably
rise
correct.
against you.
Oh,
So
wait, who's that with the Wild Growth? Which one is that?
I believe Osaka has the Wild Growth.
Oh man.
That's really good for Osaka, although Eloise still can mulligan for Innervates and Wild Growth. And I think Innervate's more powerful than Wild Growth in this matchup, just because you get the immediate return on tempo, and Wild Growth's a little bit sometimes too slow. The Wild Growth's really
But
good.
if you have
when
neither, you just instantly lose because you can't even drop anything. The first thing
Yeah.
you have to wait till you just sit there hero powering turn 2 and 3. Most of the time, sometimes you have a shade, I guess. But
The alternative is that sometimes your opponent Wild Growth and has nothing to follow up for a couple turns. That gives you turn time to play stuff, and then consequently you're able to seize the board.
if he keeps his whole hand, he has coin, wild growth, into shade, into keeper, into Lothar. But I don't
Yeah,
think
but Keeper's not really.
keeper's not really a 4, so you want a shredder there.
Oh, Eloise has Wild Growth too.
Oh,
But then
wow,
Osaka has Innervate.
It's
No, bro,
oh,
Osaka's hand is terrible.
yeah, starting with combo is terrible.
Oh wait. Eloise is the.
Wait,
Oh
who's-
wait, yeah.
Ah,
So Osaka's the one that has Wild Growth and
Wow.
the really good hand afterwards, and Eloise has like the Wild Growth and Innervate, but nothing after that.
wow.
So basically, it's two cards that are sitting
The
there.
only by the
playing.
way, guys, I actually don't care who wins the whole series. I just wanted it to go to the last game. So that's why I
you
said,
really feel the need to keep clarifying that every.
I think
4 or 5 minutes.
everyone's gonna be like, oh, they're just Temple Storm bias, blah blah.
You care about like the 15 people saying that.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I shouldn't. You're right. I
Yeah.
get trolled a lot too. You know, I'm bad. I'm bad against Twitch chat. They farm me. They just
They
troll
farm
me.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't get
kinda-
affected by Twitch chat.
I mean, everyone gets affected by Twitch chat at some level. The people who say they don't are actually the ones that are impacted the most by it. In my opinion.
Oh,
She picks up the Ancient Lore, by the way. That's a really
that's
big
nice.
mo-
Innervate.
That's
Lore
really
next
big.
turn.
The fact that Osaka also has a couple of options here is interesting. Double 5-drop is good, but he also has Shade into 5 drops into Coin Ancient of Lore. And the Shade gets better now, or is better now than
I think you
later.
shade.
Because in the later stages of the game, Shade becomes much weaker. It's just less significant minion. It's basically like a 3/3 or 4/4, but you can get it now, which might end up
Although-
turning into.
Yeah, if I guess if you're
5.
coining a 5, you're probably never gonna play the shade, anyway, because you're gonna have another 5 next turn, and then the turn after that, I guess worst case scenario, you have Harrison, and then you have Lores. You're basically just saying I'm not even gonna play the shade this game. But playing, I don't mind either way. I think he probably is gonna play the shade. But
Well, funny enough, isn't Harrison even like slightly better? Because if you knew the hand, like he's gonna go out for the Ancient of Lore. I guess it doesn't really truly matter, but the Harrison Jones would have been able to answer the Ancient of Lore immediately.
it matters. It matters.
Yeah.
Okay. With that top deck, I think you still Ancient Allure.
Yeah,
And
certain.
now- see?
A second Innervate. Okay, so some of these tempo plays might be so big.
Combo on turn 7. This swipe does 5. That might be the play. Just kill Ancient Allure.
Yeah, although Druid the Claw still stops the Ancient of Lore too.
Druid of the Claw loses. You lose the whole board to swipe. Because if they swipe your Drake, then they melee your Druid of the Claw, and
Oh, you're right.
nothing.
Then they pass their turn effectively, and
You still
you have
don't.
6 mana to
think you
hero
still-
power and play like Shade.
I think you still don't like it. Yeah, he's doing it. Well, she doesn't have swipe, so.
She has Force of Nature, which effectively accomplishes the same thing.
Yeah, Force of Nature 1-for-1 with the Druid of the Claw, if you want to. She might like
She hit the face, like, because she has combo next turn. But no, she doesn't have enough to kill, so hitting the face might. She has 2 Force of Nature, so this is definitely something that is not bad at all.
Yeah, it's fine.
You kill the Drake. You
I
beat
don't
out
know.
hero power.
I think you do, yeah.
Uh-oh. Popo's out for you, Rekful.
Oh! Uh-oh. I don't even hear that sound anymore. They come from me so often.
Yeah.
Alright. So, there's one player who has Dr. Boom next turn.
Yeah.
Oh, she didn't top deck Dr. Boom.
But she still has 9 mana available to her, and the Azure Drake allows her to pick up maybe the
Shredder is the best draw from Drake. If you don't draw, question is, if you don't draw anything to play, do you innervate Keeper Face? Because you might.
You can't combo next turn anyways, though.
Yeah, it's true, but you still might. Because then you follow up with Belcher, which will protect that Keeper to live for the next.
Yeah, and you have Wrath. If opponent swipes to clear the board, then
What to do?
you can. Yeah, you can definitely answer with Belcher Hero Power. Yeah, I think I like that play. First,
I don't
we have to
mind
see
just
the
Belcher,
Drake.
just Belcher here too. She seems like a safer player now that I'm seeing. She plays so safe. Like that one time where she didn't power overwhelm the face and make the bigger Void Terror. I don't even know if I consider that safe. I don't know what that is. It's like she's scared of BGH, but okay, it's Dr. Boom time.
It's definitely the best way to capture the board. You don't really need cards here.
It has to be Dr. Boom time because the earlier you play it, the less likely they have a big game. The other person hasn't played an Ancient. Oh, has played one Ancient Lore, but the earlier you play it, the less likely they have a big game. Ancient Lore, you don't need to draw any more cards right now. You have the card you want to play on turn 7. Dr. Boom is the best card. So there it is. And now, okay, the play here is you Azure Drake and you top deck Big Game Hunter.
Sure.
That's the play, right?
And then just
What else
win.
do you do?
Yeah.
If you don't get it, you Wrath for 4 on Dr. Boom and kill it with the Belcher, maybe.
That also wouldn't be poor either. A second Savage Roar. That's 22 damage on turn 10 if the game
Yeah.
goes that long.
Yeah.
So what she might do is Wrath and
She might just go for that. Okay. Next turn, just keep her face. For 2.
okay. So now these boombots might work some magic here. Oh, it doesn't need to. You got Swipe and Innervate. So now what?
Well, he'd
how's
rather
Cock
drop
do?
Lore. Maybe you check if Boombots work magic first. Boombots always kill Azure Drakes, man. They're like, there's a magnet or something. It's crazy. When I'm playing,
What they're
that's the thing
programmed to do, right?
I hate about playing Rogue. Every time I'm playing Rogue, Dr. Boom comes down, and I lose like 3 minions to 2 Boombots. Somehow. He didn't trust in the magnet.
Nah, I think this is the most damage overall that you can push out.
That belongs in a museum.
Somebody's gotta trust in the magnet, dude.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, it doesn't attack with the Shade.
Okay, so now we have.
Oh, that's a perfect turn. Okay,
Okay,
so
but next turn, the other guy has 11 damage on board, and Savage Roar does 8, 19, 20 with hero power. Okay, so the other
Yeah.
guy can't kill with the current cards.
you have to keep her the face here. Keep her the face and play Shade, and then hero power down. Because then it puts him down to 22, and if he heals for
Your
one
power,
with the
your
hero,
hero power put him at 21. So
yeah, but the key with the 2 Savage Roars is that it's 22 damage, and you kind of assume the Shade won't always be there. So
no, I'm saying put him at 21 so he can't hero power to 23.
yeah, exactly. Because if the Shade dies to like a Boombot, then yeah.
She might hero power the Boombot though. That's a decision.
Oh, really safe. That's super safe.
That's what I was saying. She's really safe like that. Yeah. But
Oh,
it's
she's
not- it's-
rewarded with a
It's
1
okay
damage.
because your shade lives more often and gets to hit
Yeah.
really hard. So.
Yeah, because then the Shade doesn't die to a Boombot. Oh, Lotheb off the top is really big
Oh.
too. But he might feel like he's safe though, because he might just kill Keeper and like, well, I don't die to a combo, so I might just Ancient of Lore, build up the board more, attack face.
It's true.
Because how do you know your opponent has like 4 out of 5 cards at the hand have to be exactly what she has?
Yeah.
And I don't think you can always afford to play like that.
So he played it. He's going in.
Beast in my sails.
Damn, crazy. He could have top decked. Okay, Lotheb stopped it, but he could have. If he got second Savage Roar, that would have been 22. I think she had 24 health. Would have been 23 with hero power. Oh no, he couldn't even. Yeah, it would have been 23 with hero power. think she had 24 health. Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Second Savage Roar wouldn't have killed. Force of Nature would have killed.
That's a really good read from Oskaka. Now, Eloise, I think she can still stay alive. Can she? No, she can't.
I don't even think that was a good read necessarily. I mean, even if she's just scared of her having, if she is thinking she has one combo, she could use the one combo to clear his board.
Right.
You know, I don't think he didn't think she had double combo.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
think she'd live by 1 HP if she Savage Roars and clears everything she can. Like she kills the Shade, and she kills the Harrison Jones, and then Hero powers down the 4/2.
so she's gonna have 11 health.
Yeah. Oh, she lives by 2 HP right now. Okay, so Oskaka can draw a lot of lethal opportunities here.
That's one of
And
them.
that's it. The FORSENBOYS finally close it 6-4.
Damn, that was really close.
It was really, really close. The Lothep was
Lothep-
like the miracle draw there for Oskaka.
That Lothep, he would even would have died to Ancient Lore healing himself because of the Shade.
Oh, yeah,
Does
that's
5.
right.
Or it does 7. The Shade does 7.
So there it
Wow.
is. FORSENBOYS take home the victory, but it was a pretty close and fun match, to be honest. Like, 6-4 was a pretty respectable score.
And he could have also drawn like Spelcher. He would have lived with that. Didn't need Lothep for sure.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
All right, so that wraps up our first match of the day. You look pretty tired, Rekful. You all right, man? You hanging in there? This casting isn't for noobs. Got to be the big pros.
Feels bad, man.
You're doing fine, man. You're doing a great job.
Yeah.
So once again, guys, to recap, we had the early game wins from the FORSENBOYS that went up 5-0, and then Tempo Storm ended up coming all the way back to 4-1. But that one win ended up being the reason they're able to take home the victory. And so now we have 3 teams again the first wins and 3 teams with their first loss. But don't worry, they'll be able to play next week. This is not elimination. There's 8 weeks of play. Everyone will play every other team at least once. Or just once. I think that's the guaranteed round robin play. Okay. Well, Rekful's kind of preoccupied, I guess, right now answering.
Oh, sorry.
some of
I
our ad business stuff.
was asking something about.
No worries,
what we're
bro.
doing.
I got you. I was like tossing it to you a little bit.
Okay. Toss it to me. Oh, you want to go ahead? You go ahead. I'm bad at this
Well-
in between talk.
Okay. Sure.
go
sure,
first.
Right on. Okay. Well, what I'm supposed to do is ask you if you have any thoughts on that series, and if not, then we just wrap it up and go to break, and then we go to the next series.
Thoughts on
So what do you
that
want to do,
series?
Rekful? This is a choose your own casting adventure.
Okay. Right now, well, my thoughts on that series are, it's really too bad that Gara sucks.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate, but some people
And
are
then-
born with talent, some people are born with hard work.
And then thoughts on the next series. Well, I think the Asian people are going to take it down.
Mm-hmm.
Because those are some strong Asians I've played against them. I don't even know who the other team is. I don't remember.
Okay. I think Team Celestial comes in as the favorite also, but Team Liquid is definitely a force to be reckoned with as well. We're going to take a break, guys, and when we come back, we're going to continue the second match of the day. It'll be Team Liquid versus Team Celestial. So stay tuned. You're watching the Archon Team League Championships.